Energy Network, some Monday night preseason action, but you know there's always a little extra energy in the building. Anytime it's the Islanders and the Rangers facing off. Ton of kiddos here on the glass watching warm-ups, and we are getting closer and closer to game time between these two teams. And also inching closer and closer to the opening of the regular season. Islanders opening up on the road this year. That's coming up next Thursday. They're going to be in Pittsburgh. The home opener is going to be a week from this Saturday, and you know that UBS Arena is going to be bumping, just like we're expecting a great crowd and atmosphere here tonight as well. Hi, everyone. I'm Shannon Hogan. Puck drop, like I mentioned, coming in just a little bit in this preseason matchup between the Islanders and the Rangers. And, you know, anytime these teams play, there's a little something extra on the ice, and we're hoping to bring a little something extra to the broadcast. Very excited to let you know. Stay with us as the whole night goes on. If you have to put the kids to bed to make sure you're focusing, you want to tune in the beginning of the third period especially. We're going to have Matthew Darche, the general manager of the New York Islanders, is going to be joining Brendan Burke and Thomas Hickey up in the booth. But before that, we still have plenty of hockey to get to. Let's welcome in the guys now.
Yeah, we're already excited for the third period. How about
I can't wait.
Haven't
Why
even
not?
started yet.
I just want to make sure everybody stays with us, you guys. That's the key.
No, that's fantastic. And yes, Matthew Darche will join us for the start of the third period. Thank you so much, Shannon. He's Thomas. I'm Brendan. Let's talk about this game tonight. The Islanders are dressing almost a full lineup. They still have another preseason game to go, but they have almost a full lineup. Rangers do not. I don't think that matters much to Patrick Roy. There are things he wants to see out of his team tonight.
Yeah, it's pretty much a dress rehearsal, and for me, the things that I want to see, some chemistry, right? It's not something you can force, but it's not something you can manufacture week 2, week 3 of the regular season, especially the high-end skill guys. I don't really think that I saw that in the last preseason game. It's been happening in practice, but against good NHL players in a situation like this, you want to see that tight area, small plays. Does it come naturally? Well, let's hope we see that tonight.
Well, when the Islanders traded the rights to Noah Dobson to Montreal over the summer, they did get 2 first-round picks in return. They also got a roster player, Emil Heineman, who certainly has made an impression in camp. This is a guy, Thomas, that Matthew Darche went out and targeted because of the way he's played in Montreal.
Yeah, he was outstanding last year, and I saw Montreal play many times, and every single time I'd come away saying, 51, Heineman. I got to learn how to say this name because he's got an impact every single time. Maybe the biggest strength that he has is his ability to forecheck. His skating stands out above everything else, but he's got a great wrist shot as well, and I think a lot of people, maybe around the league, on the periphery, look at this and go, okay, they got a nice depth piece, a fourth liner. Yeah, he's far more than that. At 23 years of age, things are only going to grow with the skill set that he has, and just a little look at him in preseason so far, in middle of the ice on the power play. This is a guy that I look to really in any situation tonight, elevated, playing with more of a skill group. Yeah, he can do that, and maybe it's going to be fourth line sometimes with the energy that he brings. I'm such a big fan. I'm glad he's wearing Islanders colors now.
Another trade pickup in Cal Ritchie, the 20-year-old who came over in the Brock Nelson deal at the deadline. He will be playing tonight. This is a kid who at 19 years old made the Colorado Avalanche because of injuries out of training camp, played his first 7 NHL games before he went back to junior. Now he's trying to strike as an Islander.
I would say no one has more riding on this game in the Islanders roster than this guy, Callum Ritchie. When you look at tonight, he's still here. He's still hanging around at the center position, which is so tough in the NHL. And when you go back and look at the start of his NHL career, guess who that is? Does that look familiar? Scoring on Ilya Sorokin, his first and only NHL goal. But when I watch him play, I'm looking at the way he handles the puck with his head up. It's always, he's always looking for the next play. Really calm, really poised. It's my first chance seeing him live tonight. And I think what Patrick Roy is looking for, much like I am, is seeing how he asserts himself in his own end. We've heard how responsible he is. Well, he's in a responsible type role playing with Cizikas and Siplikov. I think that's what Roy has his eye on, even more than the high-end skill that he brings.
Semyon Varlamov is not ready to resume his action with the Islanders yet, still rehabbing his knee injury from last year. That's not necessarily a surprise and certainly not something that Matthew Darche was unprepared for over the summer, who went out and signed a very capable NHL veteran backup in David Rittich. He's expected to play the entire game tonight for the Islanders.
Yeah, the entire game, and I expect him to play a big role. If Varlamov is not going to be healthy this season, you need someone that the coach can trust, and Patrick Roy's not just going to play you because you're the other goaltender on the roster. You've got to earn his trust. And last year in LA, 34 starts. Does that put Ilya Ilya Sorokin somewhere in the high 40s, low 50 range for the amount of workload that he's going to carry. I believe maybe that Patrick Waugh would prefer that. I think Ilya Sorokin might benefit from it as well, but it's up to Rittich to earn the coach's trust. But it's called Big Save Dave for a reason. He's established that reputation where he's went. We'll see if we see that tonight.
I mentioned the Rangers might not have brought all their star power to Long Island tonight, but they did bring their #1 star. Igor Shesterkin is starting in net for the New York Rangers tonight. Islanders dressing almost nearly all of their regulars. That includes Simon Holmstrom, the first-round pick from 2019, has gotten better and better each season. He could be poised to take another step heading into year 4. We've got Islanders and Rangers preseason action coming up next.
I'ma kick back when you fake like that. Would you let me go?
Introducing the new Infiniti QX60. True luxury refuses to follow. It leads.
I'ma kick back when you fake like that. Head out of the game, I don't play that fact.
The unmistakable 2026 Infiniti QX60.
Fall in New York State is unforgettable. From breathtaking views in every hue to adventure around every corner. It's the perfect place to get away. But don't just take our word for it. Come and see it for yourself. New York State, everything you love. Plan your next trip at iloveny.com.
Flag waving, people ran the raving about the boys misbehaving, singing to me, saving, but no, not here, baby. This is a safe haven for bad apples, so don't share bottles for fear lame.
Watch this. Let's face it. What a time to be making a hockey show.
Nice. Just when I thought last year couldn't be topped.
Let them know what they're in for here.
Here we are.
I'm scared of you guys. I'm scared of you.
What keeps you motivated?
I think winning. I don't really know any different.
Back when all these great roads were built, some turned out straight as an arrow, others long and winding. Loaded up on switchbacks, hairpins, and breathtaking views, it's almost as if everyone knew we were coming. The X3, X5, and X7, proudly assembled in South Carolina at BMW's largest plant worldwide. Lease the 2025 BMW X330 xDrive for $599 per month.
UBS Arena on Long Island tonight. This New York Islanders Tri-State matchup is brought to you by BMW. 5th of 6 preseason games for the Islanders. This is number 4 of 6 for the Rangers. Our goaltending matchup brought to you by Audi. Visit your Tri-State Audi dealer today. As we mentioned, David Rittich will, at least the plan is to play the entire game here tonight for the Islanders. He played the first 2 periods on Thursday at the Garden against the Rangers. Gave up 4 goals on 24 shots. This will be his 3rd preseason appearance. Other end of the ice, making his 2nd appearance of the preseason, Igor Shesterkin. Half the game against Boston last Tuesday, stopped 10 of 11. That's his only preseason work so far. As you get closer and closer to opening night, these games get more and more important for the guys playing in them. And for the head coach as well, Patrick Waugh, who has his team almost fully dressed tonight. Anders Lee still out with an injury, not ready to go yet, but the expectation is he could play on Thursday. But Max Simlikov is healthy, and in the Islanders have what you would think would be their 6 regular defensemen as well. And he wants to see some cohesiveness with his unit.
He absolutely does. And at the other end of the ice, you mentioned Shesterkin. Seems like the type of game he'd go, yeah, put me against the better roster. I want to get peppered with 40 or 50 shots, getting the rhythm, getting the flow. But for the Islanders, based off the rosters, they should have the upper hand. We'll see how it plays out.
Puck kept it at the line. Braden Schneider's shot was blocked. Emil Heineman will pick it up and float it out of the zone. Jonathan Drouin tried to bunt it on. Some rearranging of the lines for Patrick Waugh as well since the last time the Islanders were on the ice in an exhibition game. And then as Emil Heineman with Horvat and Drouin, a place where Max Shabanov had been dressing for a good part of the early stages in training camp.
And I'm going to have my eye on Shabanov because we've heard it from everyone. How skilled he is, it wows everyone. He's popping all the time. In the games, haven't quite seen that, but I think it's just a matter of time for him as he gets more and more comfortable playing in an NHL style of game.
Barzal between Palmieri and Anthony Duclair. The line for the Islanders here as it's gloved down by Palmieri, turned over and grabbed here by Connor Mackey. Move to Brennan Othmann. His pass off the skate, though, of Casey Fitzgerald. Barzal on it in a hurry. He'll take it around the net. Barzal looking over his options. He'll leave it for DeAngelo. Forced to the front. Mackey will take it. Clear it away. Radish, though, flips it into his own bench. Well, Mike Sullivan, the new head coach of the New York Rangers after nearly a decade in Pittsburgh, and wouldn't you know it, a week from Tuesday, opening night for the Rangers at Madison Square Garden. Mike Sullivan will face Sidney Crosby and the Pittsburgh Penguins.
You think that was on purpose, right? I mean, what a great storyline. It's hard to look at him and not see black and gold of the Pittsburgh Penguins in front of him, but he's got his work cut out for him tonight. When you look at this Rangers lineup, a lot of young talent. I think there's only a little bit of room on the roster, evaluation and full process for him.
Yeah, there are some guys fighting for jobs here. There seems like that third line still in flux for the Rangers, perhaps, but Gabe Perreault's in the lineup here tonight. Brennan Othmann is in the lineup tonight. So these are guys that are looking to establish themselves as a regular in the lineup for Mike Sullivan's club. Passing the skates there, Brennan Brisson quickly knocked off the puck by Simon Holmstrom. DeAngelo will take over. Around the boards, Pajot will help it along. And back on it is Matthew Robertson. Now Dylan Robrick. All 6'7", 222 pounds of it. Romanov's passing the skates of Holmstrom, but a friendly carom for Pajot. 3-on-2 as they enter the zone. Holmstrom, Pajot. Shabanov's in front of the pass, just out of his reach as it went behind him on the spinning effort from Pajot.
Just a really nice job of the Islanders coming out in unison. Everyone, a bad pass, it hits the skate, that's okay. People are underneath. I think something the Islanders have really been working on.
Max Simplikov on the dump in. Shesterkin out to handle. Knocked it away from Cal Ritchie. And Johnny Brodzinski off the glass and out. Trying to connect there with Carey Terrence, who is making his first preseason game action for the New York Rangers. And of his career, he came over in the trade from Anaheim for Chris Kreider, wearing 62 tonight for the Rangers. Eero Vakanainen run off the skates of the linesman. He'll hand it back to him. Former Boston Bruin will wait and play for Connor Mackey. 2.5 minutes gone by here in the opening period.
Oh, already, Brendan, the pace is much higher than it was on Friday, and I know it's early on, but just something in the jump. Maybe it's an Islander-Ranger type situation, but I like what I'm seeing so far. It helps we haven't had any whistles.
It always helps the early part of a hockey game, doesn't it? Helps us broadcasters, definitely helps the players. Getting a stick on that is Heineman. Chased it out to center. Mackey on the dump in. David Riddick out to play it. Long pass on here for Heineman with the Rangers interchange. Tossed into the corner. Drouin trying to cut it off. It's Othmann instead. The flip up, not out. Kept in by Horvat. Right to Drouin. Drouin loads up a shot. The first save of the night for Shesterkin. For either goaltender for that matter. A couple of big bodies collide behind the net. Matthew Robertson got the better that time. Heineman. Now it's Drouin from the corner. Fed that one out. Othmann got a stick on it before it connected with Romanov. Palmieri knocked off the puck. Still in the neighborhood, though. Comes back for Scott Morrow. Scott Morrow is the return from Carolina that the Rangers got in the Keandre Miller trade over the summer. Lots of trades for the Rangers. Means lots of new additions to their lineup and into their prospect pool.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, Brendan, when they looked at that trade, Miller and Keandre Miller coming out of New York, same with Noah Dobson. Everyone compared those returns, and I think a big part of it was how high people are on young Morrow.
Good look from Duclair, but the pass just off the mark intended for Palmieri. Out off a skate and nearly set up nicely for Barzal. Vakanainen able to clear it. Mayfield holds his ground. Matthew Schaefer on the ice for the Islanders. As the #1 overall pick, playing in his third preseason game. Vakanainen will hold, and Islanders able to make a full change. Rangers will swap some forward lines out as well. As Braden Schneider hits the red line and dumps it in.
That's exactly the picture Patrick Wall wants to see. This is what you simulate in practice. You get set up in your neutral zone. You force a dump at the red line, and all of a sudden you get a chance to come up the ice.
Clean exit gone as far as center and then turned back around by the Rangers. Islanders take over again, and Schaefer will skate with it. Schaefer hits center ice and he'll dump it in. Shesterkin throws it up the boards. Brodzinski sheds a bump from Shabanov. And big Matt Rempe unable to get that one deep. Shabanov and Holmstrom. He takes a hit from Casey Fitzgerald. Ryan Pulock cross for Adam Pelech. Second preseason game for the pair of Pelech and Pulock. You imagine all these guys will be in the lineup on Thursday for the Islanders preseason finale against the Philadelphia Flyers. Fitzgerald just got rid of it before Cizikas was on him. And Mackey hands off for Juuso Parssinen. Parssinen's pass on the skates of Cooley. Cooley ducks the shoulder, slips it in front, and they score. Riddick stopped the pass, but it popped right onto the stick of Juuso Parssinen. And the Rangers, on their first opportunity of the game, finish it off.
Brendan, this started all the way down at the other end of the ice, and the Rangers on a breakout just find their way up the ice. It looked like a seemingly innocent shot, but you'll watch Tony DeAngelo right here. He's defending this rush. It's just a little pass off the pad almost as you're going back. When you're facing your goaltender, you obviously can't see what's right behind you. Really good job by Parssinen, who's looking to establish himself in a center position role for the New York Rangers. A little bit of a gift there, but really nice play by Cooley driving that thing to the net.
Juuso Parssinen just hoping to find a home with the Rangers. He played for 3 different teams last year. 15 games in Nashville, 22 games in Colorado, then 11 games with the Rangers to finish off the season. Traded twice. And now he's got a goal here to start off this exhibition contest between the Islanders and Rangers. Ritchie hands to Cizikas. Romanov switching places with DeAngelo. That shot tipped in front and wound up over the glass and out of play. The Islanders come right back down the ice and try and get it to the net. Parssinen's 24 years old and originally a Nashville prospect. He's kind of worked his way through, and to mention, traded a couple of times, and now he's a New York Ranger.
I think Islanders fans will remember him well. It seems like he was scoring against the Islanders. I think his first career 2-goal game, if I'm not mistaken, was against the Islanders. It looked like there was a ton of potential there, but you mentioned he's moved around, and sometimes it's that second, third stop that finally helps you find your feet.
Gabe Perreault on the flip out, 23rd overall pick from a couple of years ago. As DeAngelo has time here because the Rangers are offside. A little late to get the memo was Perreault, but he'll back off now and play will continue. Romanov fumbled that puck, then was able to move it. Here's Horvat with a pass to the net, slides it over. DeAngelo just off the outstretched glove of Shesterkin. DeAngelo gloves down the clearing attempt, trying to keep the pressure on. Vakanainen harassed by Drouin. Heineman comes in to get the puck. Now it's Braden Schneider. Will Cooley, not shoulder to shoulder there with Romanov. They both topple down to the ice, and the puck comes to center. Will Cooley gets the only assist on the Parssinen goal at the 5:30 mark of the opening period. Matthew Schaefer showing off the wheels, tracking down that puck, put it off a skate with Duclair driving. That one thrown from range on net, just guided away from the goal by Shesterkin. Robrick digging after it. Palmieri, Duclair got a touch on it, but it's Vakanainen who will elevate this puck down the ice and send Dylan Robrick after it, but can't get there in time, and icing is whistled.
Well, I was looking for chemistry, Brendan. I think I found a bit of it here. As you watch the Islanders come up the ice, I especially want you to watch Jonathan Drouin, who's going to get the puck right on the wall here. He's going to get contact. Can you receive that and take someone out of the play? And how about Horvat looking late? Shesterkin looks to be in mid-season form, and it wouldn't be an Islanders game with Matthew Schaefer in it if he wasn't leading the charge, jumping up the ice. Just the ability for him to sneak by, wiggle by, sometimes with his speed, other times with his agility. He's got the puck again now.
Here's Mayfield. They'll set up Schaefer rolling downhill, and that shot was blocked by Berard up over the glass, and it gets us a stoppage in play. Early going here in the preseason action between the Islanders and Rangers. An early goal for Juuso Parssinen, a 1-0 Ranger lead.
Did they ask you to do the commercial too?
Yeah, but they just gave me one line.
Bet like a Caesar. Like, we're going to sit here and we're going to tell them how Caesars Sportsbook is just so easy to use that you can watch and bet thousands of sports events, even some NFL games.
They'll probably show us betting on our favorite players and teams at all the Vegas hotspots too.
Like, we have time for that montage.
I told him I couldn't do it.
They couldn't afford me.
Act now to get $7,500 EV lease incentive. Current lessees of an eligible competitive luxury brand vehicle get this low mileage lease on this Lyriq Luxury One for around $529 per month.
Companies around the world are making their digital transformation smarter with Lenovo. Smarter is delivering night in and night out, outside and inside the world's most famous arena. That's why the MSG family of companies and Lenovo have come together to transform the game. Welcome to a smarter world.
Now there is 31-year-old Adam Pelech getting ready for his 11th NHL season. The last time we saw him, he took an elbow to the face in New Jersey from Paul Cotter and broke his nose. The visor, the extra jaw protection there, is not from that injury. He did heal from that injury over the summer and picked up another one.
It's not fair, right? I saw him this summer. I had no idea. And I looked at him, what did you do this time? He said, I can't avoid it. A puck in summer skate came off the crossbar, hit him, had to get this big procedure done. I think he's back on solids now, but it's been a tough road for Adam Pelech and his health. Let's hope that's the end of it for this season.
In the early part of the year last November was a jaw that he had to get taken care of, and then he got hit up high at the end of the season in New Jersey, and now this. I guess if they come in threes, I guess that's a good thing because we've gotten all three of them.
Get it out of the way.
Oof. Or you should just petition the league to be able to keep that on all the time. Duclair trying to pounce on a loose puck, able to track it down. His pass, though, interrupted on its way to Barzal.
Yeah, that's that burst I want to see from Anthony Duclair. Great to see. We couldn't see it last year because he was hurt.
The pass from Palmieri, and Pollock was on the wrong side of his body, and Palmieri makes sure Bronzinski can't advance that puck. Terrible groin injury for Duclair in Game 5 of last season. And it's a 4-year contract. This is year 2, and so a lot riding on him being able to return to form for both himself personally and for the New York Islanders.
Well, that's the Islanders once again there, Brendan, in that set that they want. You talk about neutral zone hockey. Yeah, I know it's boring, but at the same time, it doesn't allow the Rangers or the team you're playing against to really get things going. And Pajot there, I think you count the guys right down the middle. You got 3 and on the side, so it's a 1-1-3. That forward can stand, almost like he's a defenseman. It's Pajot in that situation. Just doesn't allow them to get a forecheck. And Riddick's finding his feet, you could say.
He found a divot in the ice there, I think. He was trying to scrape it around after that, but that was right as that play was being blown down on an offside. Max Shabanoff, D'Angelo, and now Romanov. D'Angelo again with a wrister. Blocker save aggressively from Shesterkin. Hoffman with a quick out. The Rangers come through center. That's Noah Lava. He's playing in his 4th preseason game. That's all of them for the New York Rangers. He's played in every one, and he, as a 22-year-old rookie out of Colorado College, is their leading scorer. He's got 4 assists in his first 3 preseason games.
He's made a lot of noise. And how about that beautiful behind-the-back pass there between his legs against the Islanders last week? I mean, I think he's turning heads. Is it going to be this season? Wow, he's put himself on the map and still got a lot to prove.
I always love those stories, right? And if a team, you come into camp and a guy with no expectations, all of a sudden he's still there at the end pushing for a roster spot.
You don't really realize how good you can be until you do it at the highest level. You go, you know what, I can ride this momentum and maybe you learn a little bit about yourself. I'm sure that's the situation for him.
I guess the question is, this is week 2 of training camp. Week 2 of the preseason, I should say. It's different, right? Some of those AHL guys are gone. Some of those NHL guys maybe give a little bit more effort than they were given last week. Can you still do it in week 2?
And that's it. And every week it gets harder. But I did mention the pace right now is more than it was on Friday. I do think it's picking up another huge step to go before the regular season. But the pace will only get higher and the game's only more difficult for all these youngsters that continue to hang around NHL camps as Richie's out here looking to do the same thing.
Rangers haven't played since Thursday against the Islanders at Madison Square Garden. As Cizikas winds up in the corner. Heineman joins him there. Mackey involved. Puck just stuck there. Fitzgerald leaning on Cizikas. That puck trapped in there somewhere.
Look at Adam Pelech in the left-hand top side of your screen. He was just in there, and he's almost sitting right down. Something you don't see from the Islanders quite as much as Horvat had a good wrap chance there. Where did that thing go?
Really good. Where is it? Shesterkin doesn't even know where it is, but it was his path somewhere. And he had that skate blade close enough to the post. Well, sneaky little play from Bo Horvat, almost tied the score. Instead, still 1-0 Rangers here. More than halfway through the first.
No flight is just a flight. It's a new beginning.
Hi, nice to meet you.
A love story.
Will you marry me?
A launch pad. It's your next step.
How about some light? Thank you. You're gonna do great.
And at Delta, we're proud to help you take it.
I like the idea of making a painting of him as like the patron saint of Queens. This season has made me start to think of the 90s again, that kind of grit, and I'm hoping that the ghost of Anthony Mason can bring us some playoff success this year. I think it will.
Hockey's always been a part of our relationship.
It means a lot to me, bringing home this for my two boys. I love them forever.
My family is really important. Just a bonding moment for all of us as we enjoy this sport together as a family.
Seeing the kids grow closer together, seeing the friendships grow stronger, we're bringing in a whole new generation of Rangers fans.
When we can enjoy it together, it'll be the greatest thing.
I said recently that he's the most underrated player in the league. You know, his skill, his size goes really underrated. But you watch him in practice and him shooting, passing, and his skill level just in general is elite. So I think he's going to take another big step this year. Last year he, you know, was awesome for us on the PK. And he's a great kid, so he's a big piece of this team.
Some high praise from Matt Barzal for Simon Holmstrom, a fellow first-round pick, and a guy, Thomas, who had 20 goals last season for the first time in his career.
Yeah, and Barzy can be a tough critic, to be honest with you. I mean, he's heaping that on Simon Holmstrom because he deserves it, and I think people outside of the NHL, outside of the New York Islanders, when you say Simon Holmstrom, Olympics for Team Sweden, they might go, that's a reach. I really don't think it is. He's an absolute checker at heart, but he's so skilled, as Matt Barzal talked about. I want to see him on that team. I want to see him in Milan, but it's not going to be handed to him. I think he's got to step up just a little bit from where he was last season, and I think he could find himself on that roster.
He's now 24 years old. This is going to be his 4th NHL season. Played 50 games a few years ago as Pelech shot deflects up and out of play. And he's now exactly 200 games in his NHL career. His last game last season was game number 200, so still just getting started in his young career.
Yeah, and Matt Barzal talked about his size and how he can catch people off guard. I mean, just last Thursday against the New York Rangers, you see that reverse hit that he can throw, and it's so powerful, but you just look at his body work every single year. Yeah, the statistics continue to improve, but so does that share of ice time that he's earned from Patrick Waugh. And as you watch him tonight or throughout the season, just watch where his stick is. When he goes into forecheck, I know he's big. He's got that really long stick. He breaks so many plays up. Maybe the best checking forward that the New York Islanders have.
Played 3+ seasons in Bridgeport, too, before his NHL debut. So he's been playing the North American game. He's been at it a while, finally got his chance, and he is certainly stuck on an NHL roster. And as Drouin tries to keep that one away from an oncoming lava.
Speaking of good checkers, he's got a countryman now in Heineman there who's continuing to run around the ice in a smart, educated way, much like Simon, but more exuberant. I mean, this is a guy that can really throw the body as well, and he gets up to full speed.
9 minutes remaining here in the first period. The Rangers get a 2-on-0 down low, and they can't convert. It was a wide open net for Taylor Radish. I'm not sure he was expecting that return pass. A little give and go after a complete breakdown in front of the net for the Islanders, and Hoffman thought he would toss it back over for the slam dunk. Here's Duclair with Barzal, and the pass is broken up by Fitzgerald.
Just a great slide by Fitzgerald there to take away all that ice as Barzal was wide open.
Romanov leans into one, and it's covered up by Igor Shesterkin. Hard to imagine this puck didn't wind up in the net.
I was trying to ring the alarm bell because at the side of the net, it's going to be out of frame, and then you're going to see him. There's a New York Ranger standing all alone in front of the net. There he is right there. And for the New York Islanders, I mean, if that goes in the net, that's absolutely not on Riddick. That's on the New York Islanders. Can't let people behind you, and you got to tie up those sticks as you get back to the net. But close call there. It should be 2-0.
Taylor Radish comes over as a free agent from Washington to join the Rangers. Played in 80 games for that first place Capitals team a year ago as Pajot over Romanov shot blocked right back to him. DeAngelo scoops up and takes this puck out at center. Rangers are officially credited with just a singular shot on goal. That would be the one they scored on. Although I think it should be 2, right? The first shot, it was a rebound.
Yeah.
So, although, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I would call that a shot.
If it wasn't going to hit the net.
Was it going to go in?
Yep.
This is the new world that we live in the National Hockey League. If the puck was not going to go in the net completely, and they can verify this with the puck and the technology in it, not just the eyeball test, it's not considered a shot. So what we think is a shot, oftentimes, the NHL will come back and say that's not a shot.
There's going to be a lot of goalies requesting audits because that's going to cut into save percentage big time.
Shabanov trying to work his way away from Rempe and try to go behind the back to himself, but didn't quite get the puck where he wanted it to. This one flipped out of the zone. Pajot waiting for it, flat-footed, and had to play it before Rempe was barreling down on it. Here's Schaefer going for a skate. He let the puck get away from him. Jams it down the boards, fighting to keep it in the zone, and does. Right on the tape is Siplikov. Zizeki's shot blocked. Robertson got down in front of it. And now the Rangers try to hurry ahead. It's Schaefer back in position to break the play up.
Yeah, for Robertson, you get in that spot, it better hit you if you're going down. Just a great block for him as Siplikov made a really nice play to find Casey Cizikas there in the high slot.
Well, it's last call for your chance to get the inside scoop on the upcoming season from Islanders general manager Matthew Darch and head coach Patrick Roy. Secure an Islanders membership to access this exclusive event on October 7th at NewYorkIslanders.com/memberships.
We're going to get one of those tonight,
I was about to say.
Yeah.
Matthew Darch will join us here in the broadcast booth coming up to start the third period. Live and in person. And he's a lot of fun to talk to. For those who haven't gotten a chance to catch his interviews or talk to him in person, I know he's been around a lot of season ticket member events. He's a fun guy to talk to.
Yeah, I think so many hockey ops people are a little bit measured, and I'm not saying he's not, but you can sense his enthusiasm. He'll continue to talk and tell you maybe more than you even ask about. I think just a treat for all Islanders fans, sort of getting an inside look and seeing how passionate he is about his new team.
This puck forced ahead by Heineman. And it's Duran who will dump it in. A hustle from Bo Horvat. He secures the puck, and the pass got through Cooley, but it got through Heineman too. Now Romanov turning and shooting. Blocked on the wing. DeAngelo sends it down for Heineman. DeAngelo again. Forced it to the front, and it's kicked out by Shesterkin. Horvat was leaning on that stick. He couldn't really angle it anywhere else, but the left pad of Shesterkin made the stop. Left now for Palmieri. Trying to get away from Laba. He'll leave it for Duclair. Duclair's pass for Romanov. Barzal able to lose it, refind it, get it away from Laba, move it to the line. Romanov sends it back at the goal. Duclair. The blue line for Mayfield. Romanov able to receive that on the backhand, get the shot to the net. Barzal able to control the loose puck. Long shift for Perreault. And Vakanainen in more than a minute and a half right now. Laba tries to find some space for the Rangers to make a change. Palmieri wants to bring it back in the zone, had to wait for Duclair to clear.
I think the Islanders sense they got a tired unit right now, especially that deep pair that couldn't get off of the Rangers.
Almost a 2-minute shift. They're going for it, except for Vakanainen, who stayed on to break up the play. And he's going to try and go to the bench. Still can't get there. It's a 2-minute shift for Vakanainen. The Schaefer comes in, and he took a solid connection from Vakanainen. Pajot couldn't get that one around Berard. And now behind the defense, all alone is Robrick, and his shot glanced off of Riddick and then the glass and out of play. Dylan Robrick. Another great opportunities. Rangers haven't had many, but they have been grade A. Still 1-0 Rangers.
FanDuel held a shooting contest to promote its new MySpend tool. MySpend makes it easy to view your deposit and bet history all in one place. Because betting without knowing how much you're spending is like shooting in the dark. See the whole picture. Make FanDuel's MySpend tool part of your system and stop shooting in the dark.
It's the dream we all share, to be anything and go anywhere. So if you need room for your family, your gear, side hustle, or anything else, get the SUV designed for your dream. The Ford Explorer, America's all-time best-selling SUV. It's time to see Ford in a new light. Right now, returning lessees can lease a Ford Explorer for $309 a month for 36 months, only at your local Ford stores.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You're good. Okay, we're in that place.
People don't always fit the ideal narrative.
I talked about wanting to see some chemistry out of the top guys, especially the skill guys. This doesn't look like much. You might not think it's chemistry, but when you know where your line mate's going to be, that's Horvat there and Joanne. You love to see that sort of taking form. You often see it with Pajot and Holmstrom. Yeah, they've got great chemistry. Those are the little areas of the ice that eventually led to this great chance by Horvat. And how about this one? The big man, Robrick, comes in and a good opportunity here, but Riddick, I mean, that's a big save for a guy that we mentioned's only got one shot on net before that in the back of his net. Stands down, comes out to the top of his paint. Nice save.
Ritchie and Berard off the face-off. Islanders win it. Rangers get control, though, of the puck. Ritchie's been working on his face-offs with guys like Pajot and Holmstrom and Horvat, some of the best in their craft, and that's a big part for a young player to be able to stick in the NHL as a center. You have to be able to take faceoffs.
Those are all the tricks, right, that you learn along the way when you're a veteran centerman. For a young guy like that, it's not just those tricks, it's the strength. You're playing against men every night that have done this thousands of times over and over again. Patrick was going to be keeping a close eye on how he is, especially you get an opportunity for a D-zone faceoff.
Patrick Roy saying one of the things he is, quote, curious about tonight is how Ritchie fits with guys like Siplikov and Cizikas on this configuration.
Well, I think for him, that's a good thing. Maybe you want to play higher in the lineup, but you also want to get that situation where maybe if you do get sent down to the minors at the start of the season, you're just waiting for any center injury. Doesn't need to be the first line guy, the second or third. You can show the coach that you can play anywhere. Well, he's got that opportunity tonight. I think just as good for him as being on the first line.
Matt Rempe takes it to the boards, and just the fact that Patrick Roy's testing him out there, because you would think as Bronsinski pulls up and shoots off of the body of Terrence, if you were going to stay at the start of training camp, Cal Ritchie's either going to play top six or he's going to play in the American Hockey.
Yeah, you would assume so, right? It doesn't need to be the case.
D'Angelo sees Romanov joining the rush that had two defensemen on it. Now it's Horvat against the wall. Drouin an option out high, and he gets it to him. Drouin, Romanov, now Mayfield. On the move, Horvat rotates out. Got that pass through, but it skipped over the stick of Romanov. And that puck just jumped over the glass and into the netting.
Well, I'm going to assume for Mike Sullivan and company, the biggest thing that he needs to take care of is his team's play in the defensive zone. Just not good enough. Got away from really what made the Rangers a really competitive team year after year last year. Just hung their goaltenders out to dry. And even after a really good start, talking to people inside close to the Rangers, they go, it's just Shesterkin. That's really all that's holding us together. And I think for him, probably a big focus during training camp. The Rangers got to improve in their own end, and they've had a good amount of reps at it so far with the Islanders buzzing around. Nothing all that dangerous yet.
Igor Shesterkin faced more shots than any goaltender in the National Hockey League last year. 1,751 of them. Now, he plays a lot, but that's a lot of rubber.
I wonder if he played the puck more than anyone else as well. You see him out stopping any dump. I think he has fun in situations like this.
Palmieri's pass to Duclair, intercepted by Vakanainen. And Cooley in pursuit. But it's Schaefer who's able to shake free of him. And look at Schaefer in full speed, hoping that puck was coming back to him from Mayfield.
Yeah, you think he wanted that?
Here he is again, winding it up. This time Barzal drops it to the 18-year-old defenseman. And with the speed, he slips by Vakanainen. A good setup for Barzal. Barzal waiting behind the net. Feathers it out for Schaefer. A little pass down for Duclair. Thought about driving to the net again. Punched out at Schaefer. He'll let it fly. A knuckler that dove down, popped up off Shesterkin, battled for it at the side of the net, and it's cleared away from the goal. Schaefer pinched right in, kept it alive for Barzal. Now it's Duclair. Fire save. Rebound from Shesterkin. And a nice job to tie up a man in front from Schneider as he took Palmieri out of the play. And the Rangers get it out. Now they've got a 3-on-2. Hoffman, quick pass over. Taylor Radish taking a look for Hoffman. He couldn't handle the pass, and it's off his stick and out of play. Well, Matthew Schaefer very involved in the offensive zone on this rush.
He certainly was, and there was a lot going on for the Islanders. They got tired. A little bit of a gamble by Anthony Duclair. That led to this chance here, but what I want you to watch is this Matthew Schaefer. It's one thing for a defenseman to get beat wide, but it's another one when it looks like the guy seemingly did nothing to beat you. It's just that speed that I think everyone in the NHL is going to have to understand. This guy just moves so fast, and he's wiggled down that wall twice and created something so far.
And listen, not to get ahead of ourselves, the one thing that I was thinking, though, I watched Matthew Schaefer pick up that puck from Matt Barzal at the blue line, and I watched Schaefer go all the way down the ice and find Matt Barzal in front of the net. Now, we don't talk a lot about chemistry with a forward and a defenseman, but you think of a guy like, you can't tell me Cale Makar and Nathan MacKinnon don't have something, right? Like, you can still develop that.
And with Matt Barzal, more than anyone, I found when I was on top of my game, he's always looking through you, and it doesn't need to be verbal because he's going to find you, but he's always looking for that guy that's going to jump into that space, and that just suits Schaefer's game maybe better than anyone. It's going to be 13-48, 48-13. We're going to see a ton of it, and I guess we'll hear more from Patrick Roy as the season goes on. I think he's going to try to put those two together, especially in offensive zone face-off situations.
This one clear down, carried Terrence giving it a run. Romanov keeps it from him. We're 40 seconds away from the end of the first period, where the ice has been tilted towards Shesterkin, but the Rangers have scored on one of their two shots, and they've had 3 grade A opportunities to score on. DeAngelo off skate of Robertson. Matt Rempe, who's played a penalty-free preseason so far, is able to clear that puck out.
I think he's probably turned down some invites as well. Just continue to work on his game.
Rempe in the final 10 will launch this one into the zone, head off the ice for a change. Romanov will go retrieve it. DeAngelo to Cizikas, and time will run out here after 20 minutes of play in this preseason action between the Islanders and Rangers.
Well, what I will say is I like that period so much more than any of the 3 that we saw on Friday. The pace helps. Yes, the lineup having more NHL veterans certainly helps, and I think for the Islanders, that's a good period. Outside of 2 glaring mistakes, everything else seemed to be them coming up as a group like Patrick Roy wants them to do. They'll need to see more of that here as the second and third period as we go.
Coming up, it's the first intermission report brought to you by your local Honda dealers. Contact your local Honda dealer for a great deal today. Shannon Hogan will take over when we come back, and she'll talk directly to Simon Holmstrom, plus Patrick Roy from earlier today with some thoughts about why Matt Barzal is back at center for this season for the New York Islanders. That's coming up on the Honda Intermission Report as we play 20 minutes tonight. Lots of positives for the Islanders. They outshot the Rangers 12-2 in that first frame. The Rangers have the only goal. Juuso Parssinen at the 5:30 mark. 1-0 after 1.
Aha! I knew it! You are stealing my Jersey Mike's gig.
Danny, it's just because Jersey Mike's is an official sponsor of the NFL. I'm not taking your gig.
Now you're taking my look.
This is how I dress.
My glasses. I've been looking for those.
I wear glasses. I have astigmatism.
I'll give you astigmatism.
Ready for you on set, Eli.
I gotta go.
Oh. This ain't over, Manning.
Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Hey, that's my line. A sub above.
A new era of Audi electric performance is here. Built to outperform expectations. with sleek silhouettes, lightning-fast charging, and innovative tech. This is electrifying performance. Visit your Audi dealer today and lease a new 2025 Q6 e-tron Quattro for $499 per month.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
You get early payout on parlays, too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Strength that responds. Refinement you can feel. And tech that anticipates. Welcome to the Genesis GV70.
Lease the 2026 GV70 for $399 per month. Exclusively at your Tri-State Genesis retailers.
The quality of our choices affects the quality of our lives. So when it comes to how you move, you choose to see a doctor or the #1 orthopedic specialists in the world, backed by a team who custom tailor your treatment. Do you choose to live with limitations or live life to the fullest by going to the place that's #1 at getting people back to what they love? Choose better, move better. HSS.
Back here at UBS Arena, this is the Honda Intermission Report. Islanders and Rangers preseason matchup. We have Simon Holmstrom joining us outside the Islanders dressing room. You know, these preseason matchups, we heard from Thomas Hickey, looking to find a little chemistry out there. How important do you feel like that is heading into the regular season to kind of get a couple of games where you can get the feel?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we don't get a lot of games before the season starts, so it's nice to build some chemistry out there.
For you personally, last year really felt like a breakout, settling into that game that really allowed you to be successful and help the team. What was your focus coming into this season, and where's your comfort level after building some confidence last year?
No, for sure. I mean, I think this season, like every other season, is just getting better. Every day you're here, and trying to learn as much as you can and go out there and show the best you can. So, yeah, it's been a fun start of the season so far.
All right, thanks so much for your time. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
We're taking a quick break here on the Honda Intermission Report. Don't go away. On the other side, we're going to hear from Patrick Waugh, a comment on where he sees Matt Barzal fitting in best for this New York Islanders team. That and more on the Honda Intermission Report next.
Fall in New York State is unforgettable. From breathtaking views in every hue to adventure around every corner. It's the perfect place to get away. But don't just take our word for it. Come and see it for yourself. New York State, everything you love. Plan your next trip at iloveny.com.
What's it like to play at the world's most famous arena?
It was electric, as you hear.
Wild action here at the Garden. This crowd is delirious. Sweeping in. Highlight play after highlight play. Pure joy here in Madison Square Garden.
The best fan base in the whole world, right here. Without a doubt.
I see it, I like it, I want it, yes I do, said I need it.
With Chase, you can get a debit card for your kids' independence. And parental notifications, so you can keep an eye on how they're using it.
Still on budget.
Control for parents, freedom for kids. That's family banking from Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Giants football is on the air.
From the start, the Giants got the offense going, the defense going.
They played lights out.
What a play, the Giants.
This team is going in the right direction.
Welcome into Giants postgame.
Touchdown, Neighbor.
We know who we are, who we have in the locker room. We just got to keep battling.
Finally slammed down by Dexter Lawrence.
Every week they go in and they give everything they got.
Impact plays, folks. It makes you want to go out there and put pads on yourself. Touchdown.
That was a fun second half.
Thriller.
Thriller indeed.
Back in '94, when the Rangers went to the Stanley Cup, we never thought that they would make it that far. So we were fortunate enough to capture the winning moment on tape. Years later, the NHL did a Stanley Cup Moments, videotape yourself enjoying your team winning the Stanley Cup, and this, I would like to believe, is the original Stanley Cup moment.
Honda Intermission Report rolls on for some Monday night hockey between the Islanders and the Rangers. Rangers up 1-0 through 20 minutes of play. Want to remind you that tonight the Islanders are proud to partner with the W20 Foundation as their Hockey with a Heart charity partner. You can support their mission to empower youth to become community leaders by purchasing a 50-50 raffle ticket. Enter for your chance to win half the pot by betting big at IslandersFiftyFifty.com. It is already over $19,000, and if you're just catching on a little bit, they're doing something different with the 50-50 raffle this year. They're going to have a little bit of a rolling pot as they lead into the home opener, which is coming up a week from Saturday when the Islanders are back here at UBS Arena for their second game of the regular season. And then if the Islanders are on the road for a couple games, you could get a really high pot as they're going to keep that rolling as it benefits, of course, their partner. And then if you win big, that's a lot of money to take home, or you could, of course, donate it to the charity partner as well. That's that. What I did want to dive into a little bit is you've heard the guys talking about kind of sorting out what the lineup was going to look like. Is it going to be a little bit of a dress rehearsal for the Islanders in a game like this in the next couple of games as they get ready for that real puck drop when things start to count? Over the last couple of years, really since Bo Horvat has been in the mix, we've seen Matt Barzal move around the lineup as they try to find that magic that we've seen from Barzy here and there. Patrick Roy, clear. He likes to see Barzy at center, is open to all options, and really went into why that's so important to find him in that best spot a little bit this morning.
Always an option. Always an option. But as of now, we focus on having Bo as a center and having Barzy as a center. We feel that that's what our team is the best. Every time you're looking at your players and your roster, you want to try to see what is the best for the New York Islanders. And I think having Barzy playing as a center, it's probably the best thing for us. Why I'm saying this, I watch the playoffs when this team had a good run. He played really well as a centerman. So why not going there? This is something that worked well for this organization. I know he likes to play with Bo, and this is something we're going to do, but what is the best for us? You know, that playoff run he had when he was playing with Anders Lee and Eberle, they played so well together. I think Eberle was, against Pittsburgh, was scoring almost every night. So I think that's what Barzy could bring on the table for us. And it will be a lot difficult, I think, for other teams to match up, you know, because we're going to have four lines that could. And I think that's, looking at the New York Islanders, it's depth. You know, the success this franchise had in the past, in the run they had in those years, they had four very good lines. Everybody was bringing something. Could have been the Cizikas line, could be the Nelson line, you know, or Barzy. Everybody was coming in and making a push. So it was not just about the talent, but it was also about the depth that the team had. I never watched them live, so I watched them off the summer. Yes, I did my work. Hey, listen, I'm a person that wants to learn. I'm a person that not afraid to do the work and look back, and I'm surrounded by great people. And sometimes people will say, why you don't look at that playoff or that playoff? And I think it really helps me to have a better understanding. I'm here to win, but before winning, there's a process. And the process is, what can we do every day to make this club better? And that's all we're going to work at.
Patrick Waugh looking to lay the foundation for a successful start to the season for his team. We still have some more preseason hockey coming your way. Stepping out for a break. More on the other side.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to New York Rangers hockey. Rebound, what a stop!
The season that he wants to.
He scores!
When life puts you in the driver's seat, it should feel like it was made exactly for you. The BMW X1, X3, and X5. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Lease the 2025 BMW X1 X-Drive 28i for $499 per month.
Companies around the world are making their digital transformation smarter with Lenovo. Smarter is delivering night in and night out, outside and inside the world's most famous arena. That's why the MSG family of companies and Lenovo have come together to transform the games. Welcome to a smarter world.
Move your car without moving at all. How it should be. The Hyundai Tucson.
Right now, lease a Hyundai Tucson for $209 a month or get 1.99% APR for 60 months. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
No flight is just a flight. It's a new beginning.
Hi, nice to meet you.
A love story.
Will you marry me?
A launch pad. It's your next step.
How about some light? Thank you. You're gonna do great.
And at Delta, we're proud to help you take it.
Trailing by a goal to the Rangers after one period of play. Second period puck drop around the corner. But first, want to remind you, next Thursday night on MSGSN, the Islanders are taking on the Penguins in their season opener. Live coverage at 6:30 with Islanders game night, followed by puck drop at 7 p.m. You can watch it on MSGSN or stream it on the Gotham Sports app. Looking forward to that next week in Pittsburgh. But first, we'll have Thomas and Brendan on the other side with second period action against the Rangers.
Thanks for walking us through the plan.
Have fun with Lizzie this summer.
Doors connect us to what's important. A dedicated Fidelity advisor can help you open those doors. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll help you build a personalized investment strategy. Doors were meant to be opened.
Did they ask you to do the commercial too?
Yeah, but they just gave me one line.
Bet like a Caesar.
Like, we're going to sit here and we're going to tell them how Caesars Sportsbook is just so easy to use that you can watch and bet thousands of sports events, even some NFL games.
They'll probably show us betting on our favorite players and teams at all the Vegas hotspots too.
Like, we have time for that montage.
I told him I couldn't do it.
They couldn't afford me.
Act now to get $7,500 EV lease incentive. Current lessees of an eligible competitive luxury brand vehicle get this low mileage lease on this Optic Luxury One for around $449 per month.
Islanders Hockey on MSG Networks is brought to you by Catholic Health. Here for every moment of every life. Long live Long Island. Islanders and Rangers won't see each other in the regular season until November 8th, but tonight we've got our second of their two preseason matchups. So one guy we've had our eye on all night, Thomas, is Emil Heineman in his about to be first season as a New York Islander.
Yeah, and I think Islanders fans can get used to this. I mentioned that he's a really good checker. That doesn't always mean forechecking. It means there's an understanding when do you use your stick and when do you use your body, right? Lead with your stick always, but when the play's not there to break something up, that's when you go to your body. Perfect example there. That's the defensive zone. How about this one? Okay, plays going to be made. Going to take a run at someone. I think every Islanders fan can get used to this, but you always want to see someone's first step after they make contact. Do they drift away? Are they someone that stops? The habits that are trained into him as a really young player, very impressive. I think he's going to become more and more comfortable, and we talked about what role can he play. Well, I think his game's always the same, but maybe the personnel is different, and what an opportunity this is. And the flank for Bo Horvat with Jonathan Drouin, who I think has looked really strong tonight as well. Maybe this is something Patrick Waugh will go back to as preseason continues to roll on.
Second period underway here on Long Island. Same two goaltenders. David Riddick for the Islanders, Igor Shesterkin for the Rangers. Everybody accounted for except for one. Brett Berard not on the bench. Oh, he's a late arrival. Brett Berard is now on the bench. Everybody's accounted for the New York Rangers and the Islanders.
An important game for Brett Berard, a guy that scored on Thursday and a guy that got his feet wet last year. He's looking to make this team. Good to see. He's probably just a little bit of an equipment issue.
Played his first 35 NHL games a year ago. It's Bo Horvat. Tracks down this puck, feeds Romanov, trying to cruise his way to the net. Romanov still with it, takes a shot. It was blocked by Schneider. And then as it bounced back towards the crease, a little scuffle there, and there is Emil Heineman right in the middle of it. Hoffman had him from behind. McIntyre had him from the front. Boy, that puck around the net, Heineman was sniffing.
Yeah, I think he understands the rivalry part of it as well. I think for a lot of guys, you hear about the big rivalries coming from Montreal. You certainly have some big ones, but how about Bo Horvat? He's got Romanov off the bench. We saw that part of Romanov's game grow, but I talked about Heineman. When you stick your stick in there, when you stop on plays, and when you show a little bit of snarl too. Love to see it.
That puck almost wound up in.
Yeah.
Emil Heineman last year, he missed 14 games in January for an injury that you don't often see.
Yeah, the old scooter incident.
And hit by a car in Salt Lake City. One of missing 14 games. Guess it could have been worse, but
you do have to sign your life away when you click the consent button on those.
This one thrown to the front of the net and just off the stick of Noah Lava. And now it's Palmieri trying to wrestle away from Mackey. Angelo had it bounce by him, so Romanov will take over from there. This one turned over. Barzal will race to it. Duclair hanging out in front of the net, trying to get it there, and a save. Shesterkin, it's in. Duclair scores, and the Islanders have tied it after an error leads to Barzal and Duclair alone in the offensive zone.
This is just sensational from Matthew Barzal. So watch this. You've got an opportunity when you're going in on a puck. You're going to get hit probably. He's on his backhand. He doesn't dust it off. He doesn't stick handle. He finds that little sliver of space that's right in between the skate of the defenseman and their stick. It's just outstanding. And a fortuitous bounce. Shesterkin almost pulled that thing off. I don't know if anyone needed this quite as much as Anthony Duclair. I'd love to see that smile, but for Matt Barzal, just outstanding all-world pass.
2 goals in 2 preseason games now for Anthony Duclair. Remember, he scored on Friday night in that 6-on-5 situation with the Islanders down a couple of goals late against New Jersey. And now tonight he's got the equalizer. He's got it at 5-on-5. And as the Islanders after really controlling play in most of that first period with nothing to show for it, they get one early to start the second. Holmstrom, Shabanov, and Pageau now the line. The puck popped out for Pageau. Pageau's pass out for Schaefer. Now it's Mayfield. Slap pass to the front, and Shabanov just trying to redirect that one on net, went wide. Max Shabanov in different role. He had been playing with Horvat and Drouin. Patrick Roy moving him onto a line with J.G. Pageau and Simon Holmstrom, thinking that'll help out in his transition here to the North American game. Shabanov's pass for Schaefer. Pinned up against the boards by Scott Morrow. Held out, it's Holmstrom. Pelech will let it fly. That one off the skate in front. Pelech down the boards again. That time he's stripped by Brisson. Tossed out of the zone. It's Ritchie at center ice. Ryan Pulock, a quick transition ahead. On the backhand, Pulock into the front for Sipnikov driving. Cizikas tried to keep that one moving. Didn't connect with Pelech. The play by Brodzinski hit off the leg of the linesman, and now the Islanders are offside. The goal for Duclair came 1 minute and 14 seconds into the period.
I mentioned it's important for him, and maybe no one needed it more to get back-to-back games where you're producing and scoring. And I think for Anthony Duclair, you can call it the doghouse if you want. Yeah, the season just didn't end on the terms he wanted to as he gets a big hug from Benoit Durossier. I just think it's so important for a guy with skill to contribute early on in preseason, because you're always looking at the roster, you're looking at the crunch of how many bodies you got in there, and you maybe presume that you're not looked at in the best of lights just after everything else that happened. Patrick Roy has been very clear that it's a clean slate for him, but I think it just frees you up to get back to your game a little bit less thinking. Of course, it's only preseason, but I think it just buys you that freedom that you have in your day-to-day and show up and be the best version of yourself. Great to see from Anthony Duclair.
Cal Ritchie on the forecheck, trying to move it to Cizikas. Cut off by Johnny Brodzinski. Here's Pelech. Moves it over. Krister from Pulock never made it to the net. Pelech right on. That time it's blockered up, and it drops down behind Shesterkin. Brodzinski and Ritchie engaged. Rempe. Pulock will back off. Rempe's pass intercepted. Settled down by Adam Pelech. Went airborne with it. Siplikov a swing and a miss, and so it's icing against the Islanders.
Islanders continuing to throw pucks, and Shesterkin's sort of been batting everything away off to the sides for the most part, but up top, that's the trusty old veterans. Pulock and Pelech both get a look at this, and Shesterkin puts that one into the corner, but for Ritchie, those are the areas right there, right? Those bumps against bigger guys. Now you get a situation, you've got a long shift, you ice the puck. This is the stuff that Patrick was looking for.
Krister through traffic. Riddick takes it off the chest protector and able to hug that puck.
And for that group there, Max Sipakovs, the third one, playing with both Casey and Ritchie, and I think for him, he's the only guy in this game tonight for the Islanders that hasn't had a look of preseason hockey coming off of injury. I think he's looked good early on. He's made a couple plays, but there's that physical element that he adds as well. I just wonder, season 2 in the NHL, it must be so much easier for him coming in, knowing the language better. I'm really curious as to what we're going to see from him this season.
Knowing the language better, knowing the game better. I think that, he admitted this year, as people were asking him, he was tired coming out of training camp last year. Different experience, the training camp, certainly for Patrick Roy, who emphasized conditioning. That one's in. Just a wrister from Will Cooley, and went right through David Riddick. Hasn't seen a lot of rubber here. That's just the 4th shot he's faced, and 2 of them have gone in.
Yeah, it's been really difficult to really establish himself with the lack of pucks coming out of him. He's going to want this one back for Cooley, who just had an outstanding season last year and continues to get better and better as a young guy already wearing a letter. But, this one seemingly harmless is there's someone at the back post, and that's young Gabe Perreault. I think for any goaltender, when you've got someone coming to the back post, your attention just a little bit is picking up to the side of the net, and his angles were just off there. You could tell from his body reaction right after he wants that one back, and I think he wants a couple straight on because he hasn't really seen any easy ones tonight.
Well, Will Cooley continues to make his case to be in the Ranger lineup. He had a breakout season last year, 20 goals in 82 games. He's got a goal and an assist in this one so far tonight.
Yeah, Matt Barzal talked about Holmstrom and how underrated he is. Well, Cooley's developing a reputation around the league is just the type of guy you want. He does a bit of everything.
There's Romanov driving through. I didn't mean to make it sound like his roster spot was in jeopardy. I more meant the where he's going to play and how many minutes he's going to play.
Yeah, is he playing with your big guns? And maybe he's a guy that goes from 20 to 30. I think he's showing all the ability in the world.
And a guy who had 20 goals last year and 301 hits. Right? Tied for third in the NHL in hits, and he put in 20 goals for you. That's a valuable player. And oh yeah, he's 23 years old. This one off the glass for Heineman. Turned over at center. Parssinen scored the goal in the first period. Shoots across for Cooley. Rangers couldn't get him cleanly. Cooley catches up to this one. And then as he's falling, trying to flip it to the goal. 5 minutes gone here in the second period. Puck available. Vakanainen will slide in to take it. Perreault, his pass. There was an opening there for Parssinen, but Romanov able to intercept it. Almost a 2-minute shift for the Islanders as D'Angelo, he's fresh. His shot, though, gobbled up by Shesterkin.
That's that Duclair speed. You'll notice as he lets this thing off, and if we get another look at it, you just want to pay attention to what foot he's on when this puck gets let go, because a lot of guys, the tendency is to slow down and stop those feet from moving. And when you do that, you've got an opportunity to beat a very good goaltender because they can't really get set because they don't know when that shot's coming. Really nice change of direction. I talked about maybe the freeing up from Anthony Duclair, the confidence that comes with a couple goals in full stride there.
Duclair has been a 30-goal scorer earlier in his career. Islanders would take 20 for sure. That was the anticipation last year. You know, this time last year was Duclair getting the chance to play with Horvat and Barzal in training camp, and that was awfully exciting. For those first 5 games, it looked awfully good. Obviously, the injury derailed that for Duclair.
Both Schaefer and Mayfield up on the play.
There's Schaefer, caught from behind by Robrick. Schaefer keeps it in the zone, though, as a couple of Rangers just getting back to their feet. Palmieri. Barzal will have to chase to it. Gets there with Fitzgerald. Mayfield just jams it down the wall. Connor Mackey up with it. Hammered in from center for the Rangers. They'll make a change.
Always good for me to see goaltenders you don't see too often. How well do they play the puck? How often do they come out of the net? Riddick just getting touches. So important in preseason. Know the protocol and the calls from the defenseman.
Holmstrom's wrister off the shaft of the stick of Shesterkin. Pajot for Pulock. He'll let it go from in tight. Fired it wide. There's 91 on the radar gun from Pulock, who's certainly capable of 10 more miles an hour than that.
Oh, he's got white tape too, and it's really throwing me off. It's you spend all summer thinking about something. Yeah, change your tape.
That's it. You can hit the net more, I think. 6.5 gone by here in period 2. Each team with a goal in the middle frame. 2-1 Rangers.
At Bet365, we believe every moment. Play safe with Bet365.
As an official sponsor of the NFL, Jersey Mike's wants you, Eli Manning, to be our new spokesperson.
I'm in. I love Jersey Mike's.
Hold on. Jersey Mike's new spokesperson? You're stealing my job.
I don't want to steal anything.
Lies. Eli's.
I just love these subs.
You'll be hearing from my lawyer. He's very prompt.
Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Hey, that's my line. A sub above.
A new era of Audi electric performance is here. Built to outperform expectations. With sleek silhouettes, lightning-fast charging, and innovative tech. This is electrifying performance. Visit your Audi dealer today and lease a new 2025 Q6 e-tron Quattro for $499 per month.
We're taking a look at the highlighted player. That's Matthew Schaefer. Yes, we know he can skate. We know how good he is with the puck, but this is what you want to see. The ability to defend. Don't give an inch. Absolutely none. But then where's your momentum go? Your body goes up the ice, and as we take a look at this, okay, there's your D partner, Scott Mayfield. There's Matthew Schaefer, undeterred. He doesn't care. He continues to move up the ice, finds himself in a prime spot. Just a great backtrack by Robrick to break this thing up, but I think that's the style that Matthew Schaefer is going to play. Doesn't matter what's in front of him. He's going to join, and he's going to take care of things at his own end as well.
Islanders have Cizikas, Ritchie, and Siplikov on the ice. It's Rempe, Brodzinski, and Carey Terrence for the Rangers. Pelech got a stick in there to get it away from Rempe. Now handoff for Cizikas. The puck just got stuck there. Maybe some snow along the boards. Although they just cleaned the ice, so you would think that wouldn't be an issue.
I know Cal wouldn't be making excuses for Casey, so maybe we won't either.
Let's call it. This one tossed out to center. You know, not to get off topic, but nice to see Josh Bailey in the building here today. As Bo Horvat turns, centers, Heineman's drive goes wide and bounced off the lively boards out into the slot. Islanders can't get back on that loose puck. Josh Bailey in the building doing radio tonight with new voice of the Islanders and Alan Furing on radio. Josh Bailey doing some color. Here's Bo Horvat. Poke checked away by Mackey. Heineman takes a solid bump, but from his knees plays the puck around the wall. Hoffman will dump it in from center. Bradish off the boards. Taken by D'Angelo, given away. Parsonen up with it. Centering pass, in some skates. Mackey finds it, loads it up with plenty of time. Now it's Morrow walking to the middle. That shot redirected and goes wide. Parsonen couldn't shake Barzal. Duran's lost his stick. Islanders get it cleared. Only got 3 fresh players onto the ice. Barzal smartly didn't go for a change and stayed next to Gabe Perreault. Barzal shoved down by Morrow. Palmieri couldn't get away with it. Schaefer can't chip it around Perreault. D'Angelo back defensively. That quick shot got in on Riddick. Palmieri will turn away. Long pass on for Barzal with a little gas left in the tank. He hits Duclair, opens up some room for him, tried to get it back to Barzal, and it was blocked.
There's always something left in the tank for Matt Barzal, isn't there?
Minute into the shift.
And he's got a back check now.
Robrick met by Palmieri. Schaefer out high, can't sneak it past Schneider. Palmieri knocks it around Barzal. Feet of the puck there by Berard. That pass for Robrick, slowed up on its way to the net, and Schaefer will safely duck behind.
That's a really good play by Anthony Duclair. That's not his guy, but he's not covering anyone in that high slot. You may as well go help out. Stop the good shot from the slot.
Islanders caught a little bit of a change here as Rempe's the first one on the puck for the Rangers. Moved away from Shabadov, but Barzal was there. Then Schaefer was defensively on Carey Terrence. Schneider, wrist shot tipped by Rempe off the glass. See that growing shift for Barzal coming up on 2 minutes. Schaefer's been out there a minute and a half.
It's the gamble you take when you decide to stay on it. Now you got to do the work, but I think for Matt Barzal in situations Patrick Wall wants him playing defense, well, you find yourself in a situation where you're always trying to guard against the cutback, what someone else is doing. Well, who does that as good as anyone else? It's Barzal, so I think he's got a real good instinct of maybe when someone's going to pull up, when someone's going to stop, and it's going to be a big part of his progression going back to the middle of the ice. But the other one, Brendan, is going to be face-offs. We'll get to that a little bit later as he goes in. That's the big error. If he's going to play center, the face-off percentage has got to come up, and no question, no doubt, he's worked a lot on that over the offseason. Know that he's going to be in the middle of the ice.
Barzal taking every second he can afford to To catch his breath before this faceoff is a warning issue to the Rangers that time. 2 minutes and 9 seconds on the shift for Barzal. Coming into this faceoff, Schaefer's at 1:42.
Sometimes you just chat to the official about nothing, trying to buy yourself a second more.
How's your summer? Fitzgerald moving in with a shot, a rising shot fought off by Riddick. Rangers get control again. Riddick will glove it, hold it, and get Matt Barzal off the ice for the Islanders. Gets us to a break as well. We're halfway through the hockey game. Rangers have a 2-1 lead.
Space that adapts. Clarity that keeps you focused. And style that grabs hold. Welcome to the Genesis GV80. Lease the GV80 for $429 per month. Exclusively at your Tri-State Genesis retailers.
I like the idea of making a painting of him as like the patron saint of Queens. This season has made me start to think of the 90s again, that kind of grit, and I'm hoping that the ghost of Anthony Mason can bring us some playoff success this year. I think it will.
All clothing, I feel like, is self-expression. One of the great things about painting on sneakers is that you get to give it to other people and you get to see them wear it. There's just something about having a really cool pair of sneakers. It brings a few of the things that I really care about all together. You got the Rangers blue, the red and white stripes, the logo, and the name splattered in red, white, and blue paint. You're left with energy, with a good feeling. So I feel like this represents the Rangers well.
Back here at UBS Arena, I want to remind you, yesterday, if you were a season ticket member, you had an opportunity to come and hang out with the players and the player barbecue here. It was something super special out in the park and really a priority that the Islanders are doubling down on. They want the Islanders community to feel super connected to the players. The players want to feel connected to the fans. And this is all part of that initiative as we gear up for the regular season. The guys had a lot of fun and a perfect day. How about that weather for it, you guys?
Yeah, hard to beat a day like yesterday. I need to file a complaint, though. If I knew Joey Chestnut was going to be there.
Oh, yeah.
I would have dropped everything.
Absolutely.
I would not have dropped everything. I went to the Ryder Cup. I'm sorry. I would not have left to go to see Joey Chestnut. Sorry.
I think you should have. We have different priorities, though, I guess. Hoffman's shot fooled some fans behind the net. Is hit the outside of the twine. Siplikov will take it here. We've played more than half the hockey game. No penalties. This is not a typical Islander Ranger game. Siplikov will fire it in.
Poor Ray Bennett wants to show what he's been working on and scheming all summer long. And how many opportunities we'll see in the second half here. I think for both coaches, for better or worse, in the box or on the man advantage, you want to see what you got.
No power plays for the Devils, or for the Rangers, for the Islanders against the Devils on Friday either. And now more than half the game, maybe Patrick Law and Mike Sullivan be like, how about we'll just take turns flipping the puck over the glass or something. Get some work done. Islanders did get some 6-on-5 work done and scored a goal on Friday. Shesterkin will stop this puck behind the net. Islanders touch up and head back in.
Well, let's focus on Max Shabanoff, right? Playing on the left front side of your screen right here. You talk about him with a guy like J.G. Pageau and Holmstrom. Maybe it simplifies things for him. Then maybe we see more of that skill come out. I mean, probably due for a change after this one, but they're trying their very best to not get him up to speed, but to put him in a situation where that skill can flash and everything can come out. It's one of those things that might take a little bit of while, but I don't think they want to wait too long. Patrick Waugh's trying everything, which he'd love to see because this is a special talent here. We just haven't seen it come to fruition yet. You got to figure it's only a matter of time.
Patrick Waughh was asked point blank about Shabanoff this morning. He said, listen, I really love this kid because he cares. He's talented with and without the puck, but he acknowledges that we haven't seen it yet because I think it's going to take more time. But when you watch him practice, you can see what he's capable of, creating space in the small areas. He knows it's coming eventually. The problem is you can't wait for him if he's occupying a top line spot for him to find it. They need somebody producing in that role, and that's why he finds himself a little bit down the lineup here tonight. Jonathan Drouin. Across the top of the zone. Fake Berard down. Send it back across the grain for Horvat, who loads up a wrister, then rolled wide off the rebound. Drouin fighting through. Islanders work it out high again. Horvat, Schaefer. Schaefer, skate the stick, fake the drop. Moves in closer. That's Hamel leaving for Drouin. In front for Horvat. He was tied up. Horvat hoping for that first power play, didn't get it. Here's Schaefer closing in. A wrist shot kicked out by Shesterkin. Heineman to Mayfield. Pump didn't shoot. They'll set it up again. Heineman down low. Palmieri, or Drouin, excuse me, for Horvat. He turns and looks. That one off the skate, wound up on goal. Stick the side by Shesterkin. The pressure continues. Schaefer tried to hit Horvat through the slot. Somebody lost a skate blade. That's Horvat as he struggles to get back to the bench.
I think Shesterkin was coming out to help him.
Yep, he's going to give him a push.
It's got to be preseason.
Referee came and eventually gave Horvat a little nudge towards the bench. But another one of those shifts, we saw the Islanders score on that on Friday, where you just kind of take over a shift in the offensive zone as Pelech dumps it in. The Islanders try to get the pressure again.
Wow, he makes it look easy, doesn't he?
Yep.
A skilled defenseman to make that play. Shesterkin just hits the curling low center. And how about that play from Adam Pelech? See, you can do. I can do something like that as well. Just a nice little pop play by Pelech as the pace is certainly picked up even more than what it was in the first period.
I'd imagine, Thomas, as a defenseman, there's few things you appreciate more than a goaltender that can save you a few hits.
Might be number one. It is number one, truly.
Barzal with Rempe draped on his back. There's a penalty called. Rempe going off for a trip. Islanders have Riddick going off to the bench. Extra attacker coming on. 6-on-5 on the delayed call. Holmstrom makes his way down the wall. Drop past Barzal. Palmieri. For Barzal. We'll leave it for Adam Pelech. Everything around the perimeter so far. Barzal cruising, backhand, wanted. Holmstrom hit the skate of Palmieri instead. The touch up and our first penalty call of the hockey game coming in the final 6 minutes of the second. First penalty of the preseason for Matt Rempe. And it's a tripping call. Islanders to the power play next.
Back when all these great roads were built, some turned out straight as an arrow, others long and winding. Loaded up on switchbacks, hairpins, and breathtaking views, it's almost as if everyone knew we were coming. The X3, X5, and X7, proudly assembled in South Carolina at BMW's largest plant worldwide. Lease the 2025 BMW X330 xDrive for $599 per month.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You're good.
Okay, we're in that place.
People don't always fit the ideal narrative.
Ray Bennett comes to the Islanders via the Colorado Avalanche, where he was an assistant coach there for the last 8 years, and his power play was awfully good in Colorado. Now he's trying to rework this Islanders power play.
Yeah, awfully consistent as well, right? I think for every team, yeah, you want to have an elite power play, but can be in the top third in the NHL. And you look up and down that body of work. I mean, 1 year at 19th, but everything else is a top 10 power play for this team. Imagine what that would have done last year. When we talk about special teams, I'm really interested to watch this, but especially Jonathan Drouin, who played for him, and he had Ray Bennett as a power play coach. I'm wondering if there's certain areas of the ice or certain trigger points that he doesn't want guys to go to, or does. We're going to get a good look at it here.
Drouin wins the face-off to get it started. D'Angelo, Barzal, Heineman, Drouin, and Palmieri. This unit on the ice. First power play of the night. Palmieri's backhand looked to be headed wide. Shesterkin played it with the blocker. Islanders control the puck still. Barzal for D'Angelo. Winds up, gives off. Heineman. D'Angelo. Barzal. All around the top. Drouin out in the bumper spot. They find Palmieri, bottom of the circle. Nothing there. Sets up D'Angelo. Now Barzal on the other side of the ice. Back to D'Angelo. A drive on goal. Palmieri gets the puck. 40 seconds all in the zone. All possession time for the Islanders on the power play. Palmieri from the half wall. Slips it down for Heineman. Palmieri for D'Angelo. Barzal with a head of steam. To the right side, back across, and that one hit a stick and elevated on Palmieri. A little give and go there between Drouin and Palmieri. Palmieri changes the angle. His wrister, too many bodies in front. Off the skate of Barzal, a chance for a clear from Vakanainen, and he will.
Well, certainly not static at all. He started the power play with Barzal on the half wall. Next thing you know, he's on the goal line. He's on the other side. I think as many looks as you can give a penalty kill, it's going to increase your odds, increase your percentages. See what Unit 2 has.
Unit 2 has Matthew Schaefer and Cal Ritchie, and it's Ritchie trying to bring the puck to the net. Another guy who at least spent a little bit of time in Colorado with Ray Bennett. Might have been just 7 games, but learned the system. This will be flipped down the ice, and Riddick will come out and handle. Schaefer under pressure that time from Waba. And it's Schaefer will carry the puck. Dumps it in. Shesterkin slows it. Duclair after it. Penalty set to expire to Rempe, but the pass to Simplikov. Saved by Shesterkin. Look out here. Rempe out of the box. Puck rolling his way. Rempe. Diving play by Schaefer as Rempe gets that puck back and jams it into the pads of Riddick.
Just an outstanding save for Riddick. He's settled in right now on the backtrack and a beautiful poke, but Rempe didn't give up. He's going to get another look.
Another turnover. The Islanders on the way to the bench, and Rempe lets it fly. Kicked out by Riddick, and a little end-to-end action here after the penalty. Another giveaway. Pelech with a burst of speed up the middle. Trying to chip it in and hit right up high on Fitzgerald and came to Pelech. Max Shabanoff rims it around, nobody home. Well, the Islanders had some looks, but a lot of stuff around the perimeter on the power play, and then of course that rolling puck in the wrong place at the wrong time from an Islanders perspective for Rempe out of the box. There's a good save by Shesterkin. On the chance for Holmstrom in front, it's Pajot 1-on-3, and now help will come.
Well, the intensity's picked up in front of the net, but I think the whole building, Brendan, both sides, Islanders, Rangers fans, and that was fun to watch that power play. And then the glorious chance from Rempe, the big save by Riddick, and the pace continued to go, and some snarl from Pajot. Even though it's preseason hockey, you just take a look at this. We go, how about Ritchie? Just a beautiful pass. That goes through 2 people, and you get a nice save, but there's Rempe out of the box. Watch the stick of Schaefer at the very end. Knocks this thing right off the stick, but Rempe doesn't give up. Not an easy save for David Riddick when you've got a guy that big with that much reach, and he can take the puck all the way almost across. Riddick on that second look did a really good job just to get the pad down while he waited for reinforcements to come back. Very nice save.
Schaefer got up over 20 miles an hour on that back check. You see Casey Cizikas sitting in the box. He's not alone. Connor Mackey's in the other box. Both get 2 minutes for roughing for that scrum after the whistle.
Well, a little 4-on-4 hockey when we talk about the intensity picking up and a little bit of freewheeling. You got to figure this probably benefits the New York Islanders when we've talked about the personnel on multiple times and what a player Will Cooley's become, but he's with Parsonen. The other goal scorer tonight, you've got Pelech and Barzal and Kyle Palmieri. Palmieri and Matt Barzal in tight spaces really read off each other well. I think all coaches, tough to simulate any power play, but especially 4-on-4, that type of intensity where there's a consequence at the end of a bad decision because there's so much more ice.
Islanders have Barzal, Palmieri, Pelech, and Pulock. Rangers with Cooley and Parsonen up front, Schneider and Vakanainen. To start the 4-on-4. Adam Pelech had control briefly. Parsonen freed him of the puck. Cooley to Schneider to Pelech. And he's able to stay on his feet. And things open up for the moment for Ryan Pulock. 2.5 to go in the period. Much of that 4-on-4 scheduled here. Barzal leaves it. Bullock to Pelech. He'll move it towards the middle. Now Palmieri. D'Angelo steps on the ice for the Islanders. Barzal with one hand on his stick, able to receive that pass, and then his pass to Pelech. He couldn't connect.
And this is where you don't want the Rangers to change. You get in this situation, Kyle Palmieri had no other opportunity there. Almost had the Rangers trapped out.
Romanov to Palmieri, just onside. He'll crank one in from the top of the circle. Almost a breakaway for Gabe Perreault. Instead, it's an icing after the hustle from Tony DeAngelo, the former Ranger.
Well, he's had his moments 4-on-4 as well. Tony's a sneaky guy, especially when there's interchanges and crosses all over the ice. That's really 4-on-4 hockey, 3-on-3 primarily. But watch DeAngelo, really good job sort of coming down underneath piles and making sure his man loses coverage. Got to get used to a couple new line mates or teammates here with both Drouin and Heineman out for this.
50 seconds left of the 4-on-4. Scott Morrow for Schneider with Heineman draped on him. Romanov knocked the puck to the neutral zone. Morrow's pass for Perreault, and now Brodzinski. Brodzinski loops out. Robertson now for Morrow. Morrow along the goal line. Just couldn't bring it into the crease with Drouin parked in front. Romanov gets turned around by Brodzinski, and DeAngelo has to come collect. Here's Heineman. As we hit the final minute of the period, the final 10 seconds of 4-on-4. Mackey and Cizik is set to return as Heineman caught Noah Lava with a good one. Penalties have expired. 45 to go in the period. Holmstrom down the left wing. Pajot engaged with Radek. Holmstrom grabs the puck. His pass to Schaefer was away from him. Pajot with two Rangers on him. Out for Schaefer. The fake shot. Plays it around the board. Chabonov trying to put that one through his skates for Holmstrom. Lava on the move. Dumps in from center. 15 to go. Riddick out. Mayfield under duress. Turned it over to Hoffman, and Rempe had a chance, whiffed on it. Islanders clear it down the ice. No icing here, and the period will come to a close.
Well, the pace continued to pick up, Brendan, and the Islanders still, much like the first period, it sort of dominated the shot clock. I think for David Riddick, he settled in. That second goal by Cooley, not one he wants to give up. I mean, no goalie does, but after that, sort of had some easier shots. And at the other end, Igor Shesterkin's been his usual self, set up for a nice third period here. I think the Islanders just continue to pour it on. You've got the veteran roster, and I think the Rangers just banding together. I think these young guys would be a big test for a lot of them and Mike Sullivan's group.
Coming up, it's the second period intermission report brought to you by your local Ford stores. Visit buyfordnow.com today. Thomas, check out these guests with Shannon Hogan, Anthony Duclair, and Lubomir Visnovsky.
He didn't tell me he was coming. I've never been so happy to see a former teammate, the absolute best. Great catching up with him before the game.
So Shannon will have the Duke and Lubomir Visnovsky when we come back on the Ford intermission report. Each team with a goal during that period. Islanders got it tied up from Anthony Duclair. For the Rangers, Will Cooley gives the Rangers back the lead as we head towards the third period tonight on Long Island.
Fall in New York State is unforgettable. From breathtaking views in every hue to adventure around every corner. It's the perfect place to get away. But don't just take our word for it. Come and see it for yourself. New York State, everything you love. Plan your next trip at iloveny.com.
Now to get $7,500 EV lease incentive. Current lessees of an eligible competitive luxury brand vehicle get this low mileage lease on this Lyric Luxury One for around $529 per month.
I see it. I like it. I want it. Yes, I do. Said I need it.
With Chase, you can get a debit card for your kids' independence. And parental notifications, so you can keep an eye on how they're using it.
Still on budget.
Control for parents, freedom for kids. That's family banking from Chase. Make more of what's yours.
I'ma kick back when you fake like that.
Introducing the new Infiniti QX60. True luxury refuses to follow. It leads.
I'ma kick back when you fake like that. Head out of the game, I don't play that fact.
The unmistakable 2026 Infiniti QX60.
Aha! I knew it! You are stealing my Jersey Mike's gig.
Danny, it's just because Jersey Mike's is an official sponsor of the NFL. I'm not taking your gig.
Now you're taking my look.
This is how I dress.
My glasses. I've been looking for those.
I wear glasses. I have astigmatism.
I'll give you astigmatism.
Ready for you on set, Eli.
I gotta go.
Oh. This ain't over, Manning.
Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Hey, that's my line. A sub above.
Back here at UBS Arena, this is the Ford intermission report. After 2 periods of play, Islanders trailing by a goal to the Rangers. It's 2-1 after 40. We have Anthony Duclair joining us now outside the hallway. I'm curious your approach to a preseason and leading up to this year, your focus.
Yeah, focus is like a regular season game, to be honest. You know, you want to take training camp seriously. You want to get ready for the season, and these are big games, especially against the Rangers. Even though it doesn't count, it's always meaningful. So, you know, we're always looking to put a good effort here, especially on the home ice.
What does it mean to you mentally to be physically healthy going into this season, knowing how hard you work in the offseason and really wanting to play your best hockey for the Islanders right now?
Yeah, it's huge. I haven't felt good like this in a while, so it's good to get out there and play stress-free and be out there and be loose. So, you know, I'm playing well right now, and I just want to keep going.
We hope to see a couple more goals like that, maybe bunches of them this year. Thanks so much, Anthony. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We're taking a quick break here on the Ford Intermission Report. Don't go away. As Thomas mentioned, Lubomir Visnovsky is going to be joining us on the other side. We hope he's making his way to the set. We'll see you in just a little bit.
No flight is just a flight. It's a new beginning.
Hi, nice to meet you.
A love story.
Will you marry me?
A launch pad. It's your next step.
How about some light? Thank you. You're gonna do great.
And at Delta, we're proud to help you take it.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get
The quality of our choices affects the quality of our lives. So when it comes to how you move, you choose to see a doctor or the #1 orthopedic specialists in the world, backed by a team who custom tailor your treatment. Do you choose to live with limitations or live life to the fullest by going to the place that's #1 at getting people back to what they love? Choose better, move better. HSS.
Giants football is on the air.
From the start, the Giants got the offense going, the defense going.
They played lights out.
What a play the Giants
team is going in the right direction.
Welcome into Giants postgame.
Touchdown, Neighbors!
We know who we are, who we have in the locker room. We just got to keep battling.
Finally slammed down by Dexter Lawrence.
Every week they go in and they give everything they got.
Impact plays, folks. It makes you want to go out there and put pads on yourself.
Touchdown! That was a fun second half. Thriller indeed.
We've named this place Matassa Square Garden, the world's second most famous arena. I try to incorporate anything that's either Ranger related or hockey related. So this wall back here is my favorite part of the whole room because it's pictures of our family and friends enjoying everything New York Rangers. And then over the years, it just continued to grow.
If you're not at MSG, this is pretty much the second best place to go.
These are the things that I love the most because they're all unique and personal. We all get to enjoy the New York Rangers together.
Ford Intermission Report rolls on here at UBS Arena. Preseason hockey between the Islanders and the Rangers. Islanders trailing by a goal. We've just heard from Anthony Duclair, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be the star of the intermission. We're talking about number 11, Lubomir Visnovsky, who I loved interviewing when he was playing for the Islanders. I will never forget the last year at the Coliseum was actually my first year, and you were always so funny, and you always had something sharp to say, and you did love doing intermission interviews with me.
Yeah.
Post-game, you were excellent. So we have Luke here joining us now. We heard that you surprised Hicks. Were you excited to see him?
Thank you very much. I'm here after 9 years, maybe. I'm back. And I seriously, I don't like the interview after the game or before the game or during the game because it's different language. My English is not very good, but you know, I interview again.
You're doing great, and I will say, when we talk about guys in the room, I remember Thomas would always say, Lubo was so funny. They all the guys thought you were such a great guy in the room. What did you like most about playing on Long Island?
I like my teammates. I like the passion of the games. You know, oh my gosh, I forget my English right now, and I'm so. But I love the fans. I love the excited of the game. You know, if they win the game, the atmosphere is unbelievable, and the hockey was my everything. But you know, right now retiring and different life. But I'm back. This is a great, brand new arena. It's unbelievable, and I look at on the ice. Only maybe two guys, Thomas Cizikas, and I don't know. Thomas, the Lee stay playing, but not too many guys. Everybody's retiring. It's different right now.
I swear you look like you have not aged a day, like you could still go out there on the ice, but I understand your new passion is spending time with the family and golf. You were here for the Ryder Cup. What did you think?
Yes, I am last 4 or 5 years start playing the golf. I love it. My son played the golf, and the Ryder Cup. I was 2 years ago in Roma, and this year was in the Long Island. And I said, okay, I need to go because I play here 4 or 5 years, and also I'm from Europe. I very excited that Europe beat the US, especially in the US. But it was unbelievable. Last 3 days was crazy.
And your son plays golf too. He
Yes.
wasn't a hockey player. I was thinking maybe he'd follow in his dad's footsteps. So a special trip for you guys. What hole were you on yesterday? How do you have a voice from not chanting ole, 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 ole? That's what I heard all day yesterday.
I was almost in hole number 15. But I go around, I was in another 4 or 5 holes, and last hour was very crazy because the first 2 days was good for the Team Europe and start the singles games, and the US was unbelievable, almost changed the game, it was unbelievable, great atmosphere, and I was so excited the Team Europe to win the Ryder Cup.
I know. There's a lot of pride. Also a memory you'll never forget with your son. I'm so happy to see you. Thank you for stopping by and taking the time. Like I said, I know you don't love doing the interviews, but as long as you flash that smile, we're all in a good place. We wish you nothing but the best. And do not wait another 9 years. Okay. Come back for alumni weekend, okay?
Okay.
All right. We're taking a break here. We've got more on the other side as the Islanders and Rangers are playing preseason. But look at that. Lubomir Visnovsky here in the house to watch this game. Number 11, skating off the ice right there.
Look closely. You'll see the great outdoors and an SUV fully equipped to conquer it. A 4x4 designed to handle muddy trails and steep hills. Load up the gear and load up on adventure. The Ford Bronco SUV. It's time to see Ford in a new light. Right now, competitive owners can lease a Ford Bronco for $299 a month for 36 months, only at your local Ford stores.
Companies around the world are making their digital transformation smarter with Lenovo. Smarter is delivery, night in and night out, outside and inside the world's most famous arena. That's why the MSG family of companies and Lenovo have come together to transform the games. Welcome to a smarter world.
The boys misbehaving, singing to me, saving, but no, not here, baby. This is a safe haven for bad apples, so don't share bottles for feeling.
A new era of Audi electric performance is here, built to outperform expectations. With sleek silhouettes, lightning-fast charging, and innovative tech. This is electrifying performance. Visit your Audi dealer today and lease a new 2025 Q6 e-tron Quattro for $499 per month.
Watch this. Let's face it. What a time to be making a hockey show.
Nice. Just when I thought last year couldn't be topped.
Let them know what they're in for here.
Here we are.
How scared are you guys? How scared are you?
What keeps you motivated?
I think winning. I don't really know any different.
Second period scoring summary is brought to you by Hyundai. You can see Anthony Duclair getting the Islanders on the scoreboard. 114 with his second goal of the preseason, the assist from Matt Barzal. The Rangers, however, answering just a couple minutes after that. Islanders significantly outchancing and outshooting the Rangers 22-11, but the face-off percentage at the dot is even between these two rival teams. Stepping out for a break. Get a glass of water and sit down because we're going to have Thomas Hickey and Brendan Burke, and we are expecting General Manager Matthew Darche on the other side as well.
Cut loose. Watch those feet. The magicians of basketball. If y'all ready for some more slam dunks, I need y'all to make some.
This game is once in a century. Be there at Madison Square Garden on December 14th. Go to HarlemGlobetrotters.com for your tickets to the 100-year tour.
FanDuel held a shooting contest to promote its new MySpend tool. MySpend makes it easy to view your deposit and bet history all in one place. Because betting without knowing how much you're spending is like shooting in the dark. See the whole picture. Make FanDuel's MySpend tool part of your system. and stop shooting in the dark.
When life puts you in the driver's seat, it should feel like it was made exactly for you. The BMW X1, X3, and X5. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Lease the 2025 BMW X1 xDrive 28i for $499 per month.
Getting set for the start of the third as we welcome you back to the New York Islanders Tri-State matchup brought to you by BMW. Rangers 2, Islanders 1. With 20 minutes to play here in our exhibition preseason matchup. And while we have the time, we'll give you our Tri-State Challenge summary brought to you by BMW. Islanders doubling up the Rangers in shots, but the Rangers doubling up the Islanders in goals. We have a new goaltender for the New York Rangers as well. Dylan Garand now in for the Rangers in net. David Riddick remains in net for the New York Islanders. And with that, we say hello from the broadcast booth, Brendan Burke and Thomas Hickey. And look who we found right in the middle, Matthew Darch, the new general manager and executive vice president of the New York Islanders. Thank you so much for being here.
Pleasure.
I'd imagine that this is the fun part. You had a whole lot of work to do to get to this day. Is it nice to just have some hockey to concentrate on?
Yeah, the fun part will be October 9th, right, when we play a meaningful game. But it's great at least to now we're down to one group at training camp, so it's really our team. We're practicing and getting ready for October 9th, and we've tried a few things during camp, and actually the guys are playing well tonight, and we just need to get a few more past the goalie.
So Matthew, from your perspective, I know you like to watch the game from up top. We can all pick out the good things. I'm sure there's many little things. What catches your eye? What are you focusing on from up above when you're watching a game?
Well, I feel like tonight, compared to some other games, maybe our intensity is higher, especially from the veteran guys. Every team, you've seen it. I mean, when you play it also, the first few games, guys are going through it. I like our intensity tonight. Shesterkin made a lot of good saves, and I like the chemistry of a few of the lines that we've tried tonight, including that one that's on the ice right now. They've played well together, so we're building up to October 9th, right? Like, we have one more game, a lot of practices, because during the season we won't have a lot of practices with the Olympic break, so now's the time, and we'll couple of new coaches, new players, so we still have work to do, but that's where we're going to get to in the next couple weeks.
The line you're referencing, Drouin, Horvat, and Emil Heineman, and a lot of people, I think, initially looked at the trade for Dobson and you go, oh, they got a couple of first-round picks and they threw this other guy in there, but that's not the case, right? This is a guy you went out and wanted to bring on to the New York Islanders roster.
Yeah, he was part of the package for sure that we wanted. We saw him in Montreal last year. I know where I was before. We liked him, so I think it'd be a great addition because he can play up and down the lineup. He's intense. He skates. He forechecking. He's got a rocket of a shot. So we've been very happy with his camp so far. That's why he gets this opportunity with those two guys.
You're not a stranger to rivalries, obviously, coming from Tampa, a cross-state rival in the Florida Panthers. I think many fans want to know. I want to know as well. Everyone calls and probably welcomes you as a general manager, saying, you know what, let's keep the communication open. Is it different when it's Chris Drury, when it's your rival GM, or is it the same as everybody else?
Well, we'll let the rivalry be on the ice, right? Like, especially at this time of training camp, we're all working on our rosters. So Drew's been great, and obviously we set up a preseason game. We were setting up games for next year at the same time. So, but I know about this rivalry, obviously, and I played in a market like Montreal where there's a few rivalries with Boston and Toronto, and so it's great. That's what makes it fun, right? This game could be a Tuesday in January, and it's almost like a playoff game, right?
Yeah. You were hired just before Memorial Day here, and I'd imagine the list of things that you wanted to accomplish before now was awfully long. And I know a big part of that, though, was getting to know the players and the coaching staff that is now on this roster. How was that process over the summer, reaching out and trying to get to know these guys on a personal level?
Well, I would say in the first 2 weeks, I probably talked to every player and a few of them multiple times, met up with a few like our leaders, the captain, and some of our assistant captains. And even now during training camp, I spend a lot of time at the rink, and I try to get in touch with the players. I try to communicate with them, communicate what I like, get their pulse on a few things administratively, if I could say, during the season, travel and things like that. Just get their feedback, and then we make the decision. But it's always good to hear their feedback. They're the ones that are here. Obviously, the travel here is a different reality than where there's more bus rides and shorter flights and things like that. So it's been great, and the guys have been very receptive, and it's an ongoing process.
Well, I was a little surprised to learn that you didn't really have a relationship with Patrick Roy. I didn't know him too much, but I guess my question would be not how is the communication, but how often, especially during training camp, are you guys talking? Obviously, you have roster decisions to make, but what's the communication schedule between you and Patrick like on a day-to-day?
Well, we talk every day. I mean, it's true. A lot of people thought just because we're both French-Canadian that we knew each other, and obviously I saw him play when I was younger, but outside of a game last year in Tampa, when Patrick was walking to the bus, I was walking to my car. I said hi to him. We chatted for 2 minutes. The first time I got his phone number is the day I got named, so I went to meet him. But now, obviously, we're chatting daily, a few times a day even, and with the whole coaching staff, before game, after games, before practice, after practice. Part of my way of working is being very collaborative and communicating with the staff and the players, and obviously with Patrick, we were on the same page on what we want to do, so we talk very often, probably almost as much as I talk to my wife.
Ryan Pulock's blast blocked here as the Islanders try to get this score even with the New York Rangers. We're talking with the new general manager and executive vice president, Matthew Darche. And one of the new members of your staff is somebody very familiar to Islander fans, and that's Matt Martin, who's special assistant to the general manager. I guess, how has he been in his role? How influential has he been? And does he like sitting on the sidelines? I'm guessing not.
Well, I mean, it's his first year. I remember my first year, you get, I mean, he didn't miss the backstage during training camp, that's for sure, but he's been great. Obviously, I didn't know much about Matt. I mean, I knew him from playing against him and seeing him the last few years. I met with him a couple of weeks into the job, and we chatted, and I felt there was a role for him. So I'm trying to expose him to every facet of hockey operations. He's been great because he was in that dressing room last year, so he's got the pulse of the room, and he's been around the league a long time. So having someone that's recently retired, it's always a positive. You can bring a positive, because when we talk about players, you have scouts, but he's been on the ice with them, and he knows players around the league that played with other guys. So it's a nice fresh eyes on different players.
You know, one guy you probably haven't seen as much of, young Callum Ritchie. Actually, last shift might have been the most confident I've seen him with the puck just in my brief time watching him. But inheriting a prospect like that, he's in a different role tonight. Are there things that you're telling Callum Ritchie if he wants to play in the NHL to work on?
No, listen, he has to play with his strength. So he's an offensive guy. He's been we want guys to make our decisions tough, and that's what he's doing right now. That's why he's getting all those games. And obviously, he's an offensive talent, and that was a great pickup last year at the deadline. So we're going to work with him, and every game we're evaluating him, every practice, and we still have another week before we make our decision for the final roster. But he's got a bright future, so we're excited to have him.
A penalty called here against the Rangers for slashing. Islanders about to head out on the power play. Just along those lines with Cal Ritchie, I think at the beginning of training camp, most people's thought was he's going to play top six or he's going to play in the American Hockey League. Seeing that might not be the case, but if he does wind up in the American League, how do you treat development with your players in the AHL? I know guys like Steve Yzerman, and you worked with Julien Brisebois, they love sending guys to the American League for a little seasoning. Just your overall thoughts on how to use the American Hockey League.
Well, I believe in developing in a winning environment. You know, we brought in new coaching staff, Rocky Thompson, great communicator, and like a lot of energy, which will be great. And there's nothing wrong with playing in the AHL. Maybe not 600 games like I did. That might be too long. But look, Nikita Kucherov went to the AHL. There's a lot of guys that have gone to the AHL. If he does, it's not the end of the world. If he doesn't, he makes the team with us. Well, good for him, because he's earned it. And if he has to go there for a little bit, there's things to work on and get a lot of minutes, be an offensive weapon down there. But again, we have this game, we have next game, and a few practices to make the decision. Our mind isn't set at all right now, and we're looking at different options. That's why we're trying him in different roles right now. And like I said, he's done a good job at making us. It's a hard decision for us right now, and he's done a good job of that. That's all a player can ask, can do, you know, to make an impression on camp, and that's what he's done.
As we think about off the ice, as we watch the Islanders in the power play here, I thought it was really a unique opportunity to see behind the scenes, the summer, the draft, you coming in. Just a great job by the Islanders, giving fans a behind the scenes look at what goes into everything. What's the reception been like from that first video that you guys put out?
Well, I think it's been great. We're trying to show a little bit. I mean, a lot of teams do that, right? It's part of, we're in the entertainment business. Let's bring entertainment, and together to show our fans a glimpse of, you know, what goes on behind the scenes at the draft. I mean, we didn't go that much in detail into free agency, but the discussions we have, and it's always nice, so they can understand some of the processes that we go through to make decisions. So there'll be a few more episodes, obviously focus on the players in the season, but it's been great. I think it's been very well received by our fan base.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it myself.
Here's Drouin with a drive and a save by Duran. That's covered up for the whistle. And you've been on with us for almost 7 minutes of game action. I can't believe this. We haven't said the name Matthew Schaefer yet, which is shocking. So let's ask the question. Matthew Schaefer, just more than 18 years old in his first NHL training camp. Your impressions of him so far?
He's been really good. Like, his skating ability just stands out. I mean, when you watch him, he's and you know, the one aspect that actually has impressed me, which a lot of times on younger players it takes longer, is his defending. Because at the end of the day, you can be great on offense. If you don't defend, you can't play in this league. So he's been very good, and talk about another guy that's making a push to be here on October 9th. So again, there's a game tonight. There's a game on Thursday. We'll make those final decisions, but he's been as advertised.
20 seconds left here on the power play, which obviously is a point of emphasis for the New York Islanders as well after the special teams problems they had last year. And how much talk do you have with Patrick Roy and with Ray Bennett about making sure that that is not a problem again this year?
For sure, that's why we're trying different units. But we, you know, if you look at Joe Drouin that we brought on, and you know, Tony DeAngelo had all the success last year, then we, you know, even Emil Heineman can play that because he's got a rocket of a shot. So, and Ray Bennett's had a lot of success in Colorado, so hopefully he brings some of the magic here and gets our players to have a better power play than the team had last year. I'm used to strong power plays from where I came from.
Yes,
so.
you are. Yes, you are.
Scary power plays.
Ray Bennett's used to some scary power plays too in Colorado, and of course in Tampa, that's certainly one of their strong suits, as the Islanders now playing at 5-on-5 here. 8 minutes gone by here in the third period. I think, as Matt Barzal takes the puck away, I was about to say we'll let you go, but let's see how this plays out. Holmstrom lost the puck, and that seems like perfect time to let you exit. You've got some work to do, Matthew Darcy. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks, Matthew.
Thank you.
Thoughts? That is the new general manager of the New York Islanders, Matthew Darch, who's kind enough to spend some time during preseason game just chatting with us and letting us a little bit inside the brain trust of the New York Islanders.
And I think for those, what are we coming on, close to 9 minutes? I think the Islanders had the puck nearly the entire time, so maybe some good luck with that. But no, I mean, you ask them a question, you get so much back, and my question about the videos the Islanders put on, I know other people do it. I think fans, I don't say starved is the word, but just a great appreciation to look behind the scenes for me personally, but it adds so much to what's been built here since he came aboard.
Almost 9 minutes gone here in the third period. Rangers still up by 1.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to New York Rangers hockey. Rebound, what a stop!
For the season that he wants to.
He scores! Triple goal of Thunder!
What's it like to play at the world's most famous arena?
It was electric, as you hear.
Wild action here at the Garden. This crowd is delirious. Sweet it is. Highlight play after highlight play. Pure joy here in Madison Square Garden.
The
best fan base in the whole world, right here. Without a doubt.
Power you can feel. Comfort tuned to you. And control you can count on. Welcome to the Genesis G70. Lease the 2026 G70 for $359 per month. Exclusively at your tri-state Genesis retailers.
Whole new coaching staff on the bench for the New York Rangers, led by Mike Sullivan, who's going to be Team USA's Olympic head coach as well. So he's going to be involved in some roster decisions soon. But he's not the only new head coach around the National Hockey League. Look at this list. Marco Sturm takes over in Boston from interim Joe Sacco, who's now on the bench with the New York Rangers as an assistant. But Dan Muse is now in Pittsburgh after Mike Sullivan has left, and the Islanders will see them. Rangers will see them too, both on opening night.
Yeah, and Rick Tocchet in Philadelphia. You look at the Metro Division, and one line of sight into that is, okay, these teams might have a little bit of growing pain adjusting to a new coach. Wow, nice play by
Shabanoff.
By Shabanoff there. Yeah, the other part of it, too, you've got guys that are reestablishing roles in themselves altogether. So I think from the Islanders' perspective, or even the Rangers, I mean, you're going to have motivated groups, especially out of the gate. I think it raises the intensity of sort of that middle tier of players on every single team. Maybe not the stars and maybe not the guys that really work their tails off just out of habit all the time. But it could provide another layer, and certainly Rick Tocchet, you're going to have a completely different Philadelphia Flyers type system. But here with the Rangers as well, you talk about the change in leadership and coach, but the captaincy as well. And JT Miller, I mean, they named him captain. I think they're looking for a different type of protocol, a different way that they're going to approach every single game, that attitude that they want to bring. He's going to be a big part of that. I thought he was a boost for them when he came in midway through last year, but certainly reunited back in New York, but probably more comfortable now than ever.
Save made here by Riddick. JT Miller earlier today, injured in practice, didn't look good, but the latest reports that came out after this is he is day-to-day and could be back on the ice tomorrow. But this is one at the top of the screen. He just goes kind of half diving after a puck and then just struggled to get up.
Well, now if you get a practice injury this week, it's going to make big news after Alexander Barkov slated to miss the entire season and went down grabbing his knee. That wasn't something good to see, but luckily for Miller and the Rangers, it doesn't sound like it's serious. He certainly got to monitor that, but without him, I mean, he's the mojo for this team. They can't miss him for too long.
Rangers with the puck off the draw. Cooley had it floated to the net, glove down by Bo Horvat. Can't clear the zone though. One name on that head coaching list that we did not mention, though, probably should have. Lane Lambert, former Islander head coach, gets a second chance with the Seattle Kraken.
Yeah, I'm happy for Lane, a fresh start in a Seattle group that would seem to fit the profile of teams that he could thrive on with sort of structure, maybe lacking a little bit up front, but I was a big fan of Lane and continue to be happy to see him get another shot.
Schaefer with a puck on edge with the drive. Meanwhile, there's a wrestling match between Drouin and Fitzgerald that is broken up as that puck leaves the ice surface. Halfway through the third, score hasn't changed. 2-1 Rangers.
Capability inside and out. How it should be. The Hyundai Santa Fe.
Right now, lease a Hyundai Santa Fe for $289 a month or get 0% APR for 48 months. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
I like the idea of painting of him as like the patron saint of Queens. This season has made me start to think of the 90s again, that kind of grit, and I'm hoping that the ghost of Anthony Mason can bring us some playoff success this year. I think it will.
Couple years ago on Halloween, I decided to throw it on because, you know, everybody's in costume anyway.
So this is the suit?
I wore it to that one game, and then I wore it to every game since. It just kind of picked up steam and kept going and going and going. I like just when people walk by, even they say nice suit or like, let's go Rangers, and they just cheer a little bit.
Love the suit, man. Woo! Love it.
Every time you go to a game and you're interacting with fans, it's almost like you've known each other. Whether they're doing good or bad or whatever, we just always all in. I always wear the suit at the Garden. This is tradition.
Well, we've established Mike Sullivan's going to be the head coach for Team USA, but talking along the Olympic lines, Bo Horvat, and this is a guy that he's going to be in contention. He's going to be in the mix for Team Canada, and absolutely that would be a wild card pick or a dark horse, you could say. But Bo Horvat's done nothing but impress me since the day that he got here. Maybe you don't quite have the flash of some other stars, but when you talk about a centerman, you talk about a guy that could shift over to the wing if you need to, and a guy that's a team player and play responsible hockey. I mean, he'd certainly be up for the task, and if he started anyway like he did a couple years ago when he was leading the NHL in goals early on, I mean, his name could be one for the New York Islanders that is going over to Milan in February.
I mean, obviously there's a, I don't want to, it's not bias, let's not call it a bias, but there's at least a relationship between John Cooper and a guy like Brandon Hagel.
For sure.
It's that type of player, right? Not everybody is going to be a quote-unquote superstar that's going to make that Canadian team. A guy that can kill some penalties and take some face-offs. Bo Horvat can certainly fill a different role than Connor McDavid's going to fit.
Yeah, and you know what? They look at the World Championships, and although Horvat got hurt, fit in really well, especially on the power play with some of the world's best players. So he can fill a lot of roles, and I do think it might be not a long shot, but odds aren't in his favor. But it truly does depend how you start the season.
Duclair for Palmieri, a little touch pass for DeAngelo. Palmieri driving, DeAngelo shoots and scores. Tony DeAngelo beats Dylan Garand, and it's tied up here in the third.
Great puck movement up the ice for the New York Islanders, and I believe that Tony DeAngelo, he was looking to give this thing back to Kyle Palmieri, but as he comes up the ice, you see the swift little one-touch from Kyle Palmieri right in the middle of your screen right here to DeAngelo. Watch him wait for a little bit of screen, a little bit of traffic as Palmieri vacates, coming through the front. Really tough for a goaltender to pick up, and hey, watch his eyes. He's going, where's Kyle Palmieri? I want to get this thing back to him. No, that's not an option, just perfect time. Doesn't need to be a hard one. Got a tie game.
Islanders came from down, scoring 3 times on 10 shots against Garand and the Rangers on Thursday night at Madison Square Garden. Tonight they were down 1, not anymore, and DeAngelo looking for another one, but it's blockered away by the 23-year-old from Victoria, British Columbia. Krister from Romanov never made it to the net, and it's off the glass, glove down and held in. Last 2 games for the Rangers, they have blown third period leads. One to Boston, and now one to the Islanders.
It's got to be tough for a guy like Garand coming in. It's not like you're just replacing the other goalie. You're replacing Igor Shesterkin, and I don't think it was maybe his best hockey the other night, but this is a guy that's played a lot of hockey professionally the last few seasons in Hartford, carried a big load. You certainly think that the impression that he wants to make here is he's made a couple saves so far. That one from DeAngelo got through, but nice opportunity for him here with the tie game to try to walk out of here with a good impression and maybe a win, but the Islanders certainly have other plans.
Garand right on, and a blocker save by Garand. So he won 20 games in the American Hockey League last year with Hartford in his 3rd season in the AHL. Took a big step, though. Save percentage up at .913. He had never had a save percentage higher than .898 in his first 2 seasons. As Schaefer transitions the puck, Drouin gives it back to him. Schaefer backhand, and Horvat couldn't get there. He's able to control the puck, though, and it's knocked away. Nice job by Heineman to stand up at the blue line. But the Rangers take control. And Gabe Perreault will float it in. Riddick, who started and will finish this game for the Islanders in net, and that shot muscled on goal, stopped by Riddick. This is the line for the Rangers that has scored both of their goals. As Siplikov on the dump in. Siplikov takes the hit from Fitzgerald. DeAngelo is first of the preseason from Palmieri and Duclair, so it's a multi-point night for Anthony Duclair. Islanders give the puck up here. Ritchie with a swat at it. That's Tom Cooley from taking it. Now Adam Pelech crossing into Ranger territory, scooped up off the ice by Garand. And we get a whistle.
Beaugrand right back to his feet to make a big save on Jonathan Drouin, who just continues to look more and more comfortable over the last couple games. He's so creative in tight spaces, but coming in, taking that ice, finds it, and that's Heineman in front that was touching his face, but after that follows up with just a great track. I've talked about him and the relentless nature that he plays with. I mean, of course, you got one player, a defenseman at the end of his shift, getting to the red line. Of course, your defensemen are going to take care of it, but no, you make sure that you strip that puck, and the Islanders spend a little more ozone time after that. That relentless nature is going to be something Islanders fans are going to love.
Rangers get it deep with just more than 6 minutes to play here in the third. Kept in by Brisson. Berard angled it right to Adam Pelech. Takes a trip around the net. Polak, middle of the ice. Siplikov, touch pass to Zizekas. He's in with speed. Zizekas is dropped, and Siplikov was well covered. He twisted down Berard to the ice. And then a big hit delivered by Romanov on big Dylan Robrick.
That's what Romanov needs, right? He just get himself into midseason form. Such a physical presence. Picks his spot so well, but that one was just a freebie.
That one was along the boards, but Romanov, one of the best open ice hitters in the National Hockey League. D'Angelo's pass off the skate of Duclair, and a race for the puck, and it's offside. Radish in pursuit of that puck was in the zone. Almost a breakaway for the New York Rangers. Alex Romanov getting himself tuned up for the regular season. Taking a chunk out of big Dylan Robrick.
Fall in New York State is unforgettable. From breathtaking views in every hue to adventure around every corner. It's the perfect place to get away. But don't just take our word for it. Come and see it for yourself. New York State, everything you love. Plan your next trip at iloveny.com.
Act now to get $7,500 EV lease incentive. Current lessees of an eligible competitive luxury brand vehicle get this low mileage lease on this Optic Luxury One for around $449 per month.
Did they ask you to do the commercial too?
Yeah, but they just gave me one line.
Bet like a Caesar. Like, we're going to sit here and we're going to tell them how Caesars Sportsbook is just so easy to use that you can watch and bet thousands of sports events, even some NFL games.
They'll probably show us betting on our favorite players and teams at all the Vegas hotspots too.
Like, we have time for that montage.
I told him I couldn't do it.
They couldn't afford me.
No matter what level of hockey you're at, Girls Hockey Weekend has a program for you. Join us on October 12th at UBS Arena for a fun-filled weekend with special hockey clinics to take your game to the next level. Learn more at NewYorkIslanders.com/GHW. Islanders and Rangers preseason action. 5.5 to go in the third. All tied up at 2. Juuso Parssinen and Will Cooley the goals for the Rangers. Anthony Duclair, Tony DeAngelo the goals for the Islanders. The Islanders will have one more preseason game after tonight. It will be on Thursday in Philadelphia against the Flyers. Rangers have a couple of more. They will play Thursday, against the Devils, and then Saturday against the Boston Bruins.
In that final tune-up, we're going to be keeping a close eye. Are we going to see Anders Lee? You'd hope so. He's missed a little bit of time. I believe he skated today. He's shedding that non-contact. It's going to be nice to get the captain back, certainly, right before the season. That last game, the intensity picks up much more than this one. We'll see if 27's back in the lineup.
Ryan Polak feeds it into the crease, and it's pulled away from the Ranger net. That feet ahead. If it goes through for Hoffman, it's a breakaway. Instead, Adam Pelech stopped it, but this is a chance for the Rangers back in as Noah Laba unable to get that one through. Polak. Takes a shoulder from Rempe, lost his stick in the process. Palmieri feeds it along for Pajot, ranked wide. Here's Shabanov. Max Shabanov knocked off balance, still got the shot away, and was able to fight off Casey Fitzgerald as well. He may be undersized, but he plays a little bit bigger than he is.
Yeah, he's pretty sturdy, and I think for a lot of undersized guys, you want to find that low area. That's where you have your advantage. You watch as he invites the contact here just a little bit, and Fitzgerald goes through dangerously into the boards. It's going to be, it's not like it's not physical in Russia, right? That's not the case. It's just those areas of the ice that might be tougher to penetrate, where maybe more goals are scored for Shabanov, trying to find that ice. Crucial. We'll see what he can do on an offensive zone faceoff here.
He's listed at 5'8", 156 pounds. He's 24, but he'll be 25 on opening night. His birthday's coming up October the 7th. 4 minutes to go. Aaron pass, no icing. I don't know why. Looked like both linesmen had their arms up.
It was Schaefer going back. I figured he just beat it out.
Yep. This one coming around. Perreault gave it up at the line. Schaefer's shot tipped away from the net. Pajot got a good read on it. Blue line Mayfield off the glass. Shabanov. Puck pushed from him. Will Cooley's dropped to Perreault. Gabe Perreault. Skate the stick. Schaefer with the defensive play. Simon Holmstrom will push this one deep. Brodzinski has some time, but the Islanders adjusting their forward line. Schneider to Vaakanainen. Deep dump in. Riddick couldn't knock it down. 3 minutes to go. Brodzinski backhand right to the top of the crease. Now Vaakanainen, a wrister save. Riddick rebound bouncing around, and a turnaround try from Rempe is underneath Riddick. Puck still loose just outside the crease, and Riddick finally gets it covered. And Romanov and Berard topple down with everybody on top of them. Five Islanders, 3 Rangers behind the net. The discipline of the 2D to make sure that faceoff will stay inside the zone for the Rangers. They're not joining this.
Yeah, I think they're licking their chops, and the big Rempe's in there. Hey, look, that thing, it just couldn't get covered. Riddick with a couple saves, and then I believe it was Duran just trying to put it right back into his pads as this melee started. You watch it, you think he's got it covered here. It's Romanov, trying to cover it and continued whacks at it by the Rangers. Riddick eventually found his positioning, and yeah, all that ensued between Berard, Romanov, Shabanov's in there, understanding this rivalry just a little bit. But for Riddick, I think this is important, and I wonder how much of it's situational when you talk about if you're going to let your goaltender go 2 periods in a preseason game or 3. I think sort of crucial for him as Hogberg's on the net. Patrick Roy's got an understanding of what he can do to sort of continue to settle in, because the shot volume hasn't been there, but in a short sequence there, 3 or 4 saves.
No penalties handed out to either side on that play. So it remains 5-on-5 with 2:47 on the clock. Matt Rempe almost untied the game. This rolling puck just caught an edge and kept on going. So an icing call and a face-off right back where that last one was in the Islander zone. Late game situations too. These are things that you go over and want to practice. We saw Patrick Wall with the early goalie pull on Friday and trying to get some 6-on-5 work. But what do you do in a late game with the score tied at 5-on-5?
And what do you do when you're a little bit out of breath and a little bit tired? Yeah, this is where games are won and lost, and points in the standings mean so much. You win a faceoff, can you find a way to make sure that you maintain that possession? The Islanders can't do it there as the Rangers come back in, but Riddick smartly melts that down. You know, in these situations, Brendan, there's a protocol on a one draw, right? And so important, as I just mentioned, at the end of a game. But you'd be surprised how many points are won and lost in the last 3 minutes off this situation. I'm not talking about being in your defensive zone and losing a draw. I'm talking about when you win it and can't execute to get out cleanly and get going up the ice as a group.
Horvat's already been on the ice for 50 seconds, but they leave him on here to take this draw. And he won it. But that pass from Pollock was behind Heineman. No icing though. Will Cooley on the tape-to-tape pass from Scott Morrow. Rangers get it in. Riddick around the boards. Horvat juggled that bouncing puck. Oh, Cooley took a big hit from Perreault, his own teammate, as they collided inadvertently.
Those ones often hurt the most because somebody's going to let up. In that case, I think Cooley, you find yourself in a tough spot. If you both let up, maybe you're both getting hurt.
And if neither of you let up, you're both getting hurt.
Yes.
Schaefer around the back of the net. The bank pass for Cizikas, just couldn't hand that one off to Ritchie in stride. Laba lost it to Cizikas. One hand on his stick, able to fight it on for Siplikov. Pass off the wall for Schaefer. Adjust, shoots, blocked by Laba. Siplikov had a chance on that loose puck, but it bounced by him, and this is out of the zone. Minute 15 left as Mackey resets. Radish unable to get it deep initially. Berard on the follow-up. Palmieri helped it back to Schaefer. Trying to shake Brodzinski. Made the pass to Palmieri. Now Ritchie. On the dump in. Duclair after Schneider as we hit a minute to play in the third. Game still even. Alley-oop pass for Brodzinski. Able to settle that one down with his stick shaft, and it's covered up by David Riddick. Pretty nifty play by Johnny Brodzinski to turn that into a scoring chance.
Well, let's take a look at that big collision there involving Will Cooley, who's got the puck there, and young Gabe Perreault. Yeah, Cooley just gave up on it as this goes the other way. And Johnny Brodzinski, a little shot here on David Riddick, not too much on it. Easy one for him, and I think Riddick probably wanted to keep that thing alive, avoid a D-zone face-off, no other option than to melt it down.
45 seconds to go. And pass, the reason for the whistle. So the Islanders have Palmieri, Barzal, and Horvat with Pulock and Pelech. And this is one of those situations that we've alluded to and that Patrick Waugh talked about when he was asked about moving Barzal back to center and away from Bo Horvat. That doesn't mean they're not going to play together when they need them to. And late game situation here where you're not rolling through your lines, he puts Barzal and Horvat together.
It's just a green light situation, right? Why wouldn't you want to? Obviously, it's a tie game, right? So you can have a different mindset. Preseason here, Patrick, giving these guys a chance, and the chemistry and creativity that they have with one another, it's apparent. They look for each other, they give it to each other, and they often get it back. See if they can work something here with 30 left.
Kyle Palmieri takes a hard hit from Robertson. Stretch pass on out of the reach of Austin. This will be icing against the Rangers with 21.9.
You know what? It wasn't a great hit. I didn't like it. Palms might be a little bit mad at the same time. When you watch this, I don't think Robertson completely goes full force. Kyle put himself in a pretty tough spot. Not that needed to be fully finished on. You see him bobble just a bit. Yeah, immediately right after, a little bit of I didn't mean to on Robertson's case, but this much time left in the game, I don't think we're going to see settling scores. Yeah, you know, on the second look, he finished him pretty good.
Barzal able to keep that puck in the zone. 15 seconds to go. Robertson and Horvat come together in the corner. Palmieri gets his revenge.
And another little bump behind the play as well.
And this game looks like it is headed to overtime. Rangers and Islanders preseason hockey, 60 minutes. Not enough of it. Well, Matthew Robertson, Kyle Palmieri trading blows as the clock ticked down. You get a chance to finish it, finish him.
Oof.
Palmieri with the period on a regulation. Overtime is next.
It's the dream we all share. To be anything and go anywhere. So if you need room for your family, your gear, side hustle, or anything else, get the SUV designed for your dream. The Ford Explorer, America's all-time best-selling SUV. It's time to see Ford in a new light. Right now, returning lessees can lease a Ford Explorer for $309 a month for 36 months. Only at your local Ford stores.
Rangers Islanders overtime. After the Islanders scored the only goal of the third period to get things tied up on a Tony DeAngelo tally. This is what you want, I guess, right? A chance to practice a little 3-on-3 against some NHL competition.
Yeah, well, we've talked about special teams, how that needed to be better. The extra frame for the Islanders also. Free points available if you can find a way. And I'm more interested in not the people that go out, but the combos that go out. When you look at the first two forwards, who's it going to be? A lot of times last year, Patrick Waugh would go with J.G. Pageau, get possession, and then come and hit you with a Barzal or a Horvat. But certainly, you're looking who's the first defenseman out, and at the same time, those combos, those duos of forwards, what's Patrick Waugh looking for? Because strong indication here, whatever he's going with is probably what you're going to see the first quarter of the season as the Islanders get into overtime, which is just inevitable.
Islanders have played overtime earlier this preseason. They did it on the very first night against the Philadelphia Flyers. You may remember this play from overtime. Matthew Schaefer tracking down Matvei Michkov from 2 zones away on a breakaway in overtime. So you know his wheels are an asset when it gets to the 3-on-3.
And just looking down at the bench there, he's probably looking back at Bob Boucher saying, I better be the next one out. I want to go out. Tony DeAngelo's good to start here. Horvat and Drouin, who actually showed quite a bit tonight. I've been impressed. They've been looking for each other, but not forcing it. In fact, just finding those right spots will get a chance with DeAngelo to go the other way here.
Islanders win the opening face-off. It's Cooley, Parssinen, and Schneider for the Rangers. Jonathan Drouin with the puck. Drouin trying to knife his way through, and he nearly got by Schneider. Passes out high for Horvat. Won't force anything. He'll bring it back into the neutral zone. No one's tipped their hand and climbed onto the ledge of the boards. Here's Horvat, the toe drag, the backhand, and a save by Garand. Oh boy. Nifty skill there from Bo Horvat, and awfully good scoring chances. Barzal takes his place on the ice. Next one is Palmieri with Barzal and Matthew Schaefer. Gabe Perreault on the ice along with Noah Laba. Laba driving in, backhand, game winner. Noah Laba, who continues his impressive preseason. 4 assists in his first 3 preseason games. And now an overtime game-winning goal for the Rangers.
What a finish by Noah Laba. I mean, you want to continue to make your case that you could upset someone and maybe bump someone off the roster, but it wasn't like the Islanders didn't have their chances. In this one in particular, from Horvat around Schneider, a perfect toe drag, a nice little kick save there. But as this went the other way, the speed that Laba picked coming up the ice, whenever there's an interchange, it's always going to be tough. 2 Islanders go to 1, and watch the patience to go all the way around Riddick. Didn't even need to elevate. I think the speed he was coming in on caught the Islanders off guard. Rangers win this one, and a nifty little pass by Gabe Perreault, who's also got something to prove. See the poke check by Riddick there? Just missed.
Laba could be in his senior year at Colorado College. Instead, he's trying to make a name for himself and stick on an NHL roster for the New York Rangers. Isles have 1 more preseason game to go, and we are counting down towards next Thursday night here on MSGSN. Islanders, Penguins, in the Islanders season opener. Live coverage begins at 6:30 with Islanders game night, followed by puck drop at 7 p.m. from PPG Paints in Pittsburgh. You can watch it on MSGSN or stream it on the Gotham Sports app. We're almost there, guys. Islanders preseason fall to the Rangers 2-1 in overtime. We're making our way towards opening night. For Shannon and Thomas and our incredible crew, I'm Brendan Burke. Thank you so much for watching. Rangers on the goal from Noah Laba. Win it in overtime.
Back when all these great roads were built, some turned out straight as an arrow, others long and winding. Loaded up on switchbacks, hairpins, and breathtaking views, it's almost as if everyone knew we were coming. The X3, X5, and X7, proudly assembled in South Carolina at BMW's largest plant worldwide. Lease the 2025 BMW X330 xDrive for $599 per month.
With Chase,
you can get a debit card for your kids' independence. And parental notifications, so you can keep an eye on how they're using it. Still on budget. Control for parents, freedom for kids. That's family banking from Chase. Make more of what's yours.
As an official sponsor of the NFL, Jersey Mike's wants you, Eli Manning, to be our new spokesperson.
I'm in. I love Jersey Mike's.
Hold on. Jersey Mike's new spokesperson? You're stealing my job.
I don't want to steal anything.
Lies. Eli's.
I just love these subs.
You'll be hearing from my lawyer. He's very prompt.
Jersey Mike's, a sub.
Hey, that's my line. A sub above.
A new era of Audi electric performance is here. Built to outperform expectations. With sleek silhouettes, lightning-fast charging, and innovative tech. This is electrifying performance. Visit your Audi dealer today and lease a new 2025 Q6 e-tron Quattro for $499 per month.